X in my name is not just a symbol or a target sign. A spell that attracts all who spit facts online all the time. Can you see it? All the ones who drag my name every single day. Can you see it? Can you see it? Can you see it? They keep saying you don't have what it takes to carve out your own name underneath the shadows of gods. And I keep waiting for the day disbelievers say I flew way too close to the sun. I wait, but it never really comes. The X in my name is not just a symbol or a target sign. A spell that attracts all who speak facts online all the time. The X in my name is not just a symbol or a target sign. A force that compels all to rebel from all right shackled minds. Why do they just in arrogance when they fall from the battles I have overcome? You feel it, feel the cope and the seething tone that they make while I stand up, man among gods. And I keep thinking with my mill, shooting ropes in my cold that faces towards the sun. They hate, but I'm sitting comfy with their mom. The X in my name is not just a symbol or a target sign. A spell that attracts all who speak facts online all the time. The X in my name is not just a symbol or a target sign. A force that compels all to rebel from all that shackled mind. The X in my name is not just a symbol or a target sign. A spell that attracts all who speak facts online all the time. The X in my name is not just a symbol or a target sign. A force that compels all to rebel from all right shadowed minds. It's you and me, your mom, it's me. I'll take another hit from my name. You see now, watch me live now, punch your things now. Let me show you how.
Good afternoon, everybody. Hello, hello. I'm a little loud right now. There we go. Hello, hello, everybody. How are all of you doing? What's up, War Penguin, K-Pathone, Snake Lover, Trans Daughter of Water, Not an Enderman, War Penguin? I don't see any more names going up the list. I have to scroll. I'm just here, 029, Summer Star. Did I say hi to you yet? No, I didn't say hi to you yet. Green Moon 2040, how are you doing? Lord Rose 97, what's up? Wild Rose, how are you doing? Grassa Triton, how are you doing? Good to have you here. Evil Rhoda, what's up? Alexia, how are you? Malifors, what's up? Circuit Dog, how you doing? Valdeshark 69, haha, funny number. How you doing? Cleaver 120, what's up? Welcome back. Perry Icefire, glad to have you here. Bazooka Horse, how you doing? Wingo, what's up? Glad to have you here. Slashy, how are you? Hey Zan, missed your stream yesterday. Was watching the Tomb Raider anime. Was good. I hope you enjoyed it. It's all good. Hey there, Maurice Belcher. All Existence Itself, how are you? Eminem, how are you doing? The Dark Canuck, good to see you. Zan's Biggest Meat Rider, good to see you as well. Jalen Alexander, how are you? Cute Bunny 20, hello, welcome. Smiley Phantom, how are you doing? Welcome back. Andrew Palmer, how are you? What's up? I almost dropped the cap for my water on the floor. Wait, Perry Icefire, that's illegal. You can't have breakfast for dinner. Wish me luck, guys. I'm about to fight the Empress of Light in Terraria. Nice. The game I've been playing off-stream as of this morning, actually, is Project Zomboid. I put together my ultimate modded Zomboid experience, and I started it this morning, and I'm trying to train on this mod pack, like try and get as good at the game as I can possibly get before the new update hits, because the next Zomboid update is going to be massive, like enormous, game-changing. And, man, I'd like to stream it, probably just a private server with friends, but streaming it would be pretty fun, I think, once that update does come out, and I want to be good at Zomboid when that happens. So I've just been clearing out houses and neighborhoods of zombies using melee weapons and stomps and just doing my best to get good at the movement and combat and make my situational awareness as good as possible. Just generally getting good at Zomboid, so watching me play Zomboid is entertaining. For the Sonic segment, actually, this is for the Sonic segment. I did the research and gave a Sonic fan perspective. Let me check this out, Slashy. Sonic fans are calling out anti-woke grifters. Oh, actually, this is really useful. I actually have another thing I wanted to, wait, is this the video? This could actually be the video.
Well, it looks like...
Wow, you are fucking wild, Slashy. God, you could really be, like, a lefty content creator, at least insofar as getting the research stuff put together goes. You've got the fucking deets. You had, like, exactly the tweets and the video I intended on covering, like, all gathered. That's fucking crazy, bro. Hold on, have I modded you, Slashy? Let me mod you really fast. I feel like you've been goated lately. You've been like a link supplier. Like, you've been dropping links like crazy when I ask for them, and that's the kind of behavior that is too goddamn rare in my community, but abso-fucking-lutely needs to be rewarded. So congratulations, Slashy. You are now a chat... Would it be moderator or admin? It's, I think it's moderator. I think. Try talking now, Slashy. You should have, like, a little thingy next to your name, and special powers now. Oh, wait, that didn't work. Okay, hold on. Okay, maybe it's admin. There we go. Now let's see after that if, Slashy gets the little thing. If not, it's the site continuing to bug, but no worries. I've already talked to White Nervosa about it, so it should be getting fixed up. And, by the way, if anybody has any problems, like they sub and the sub doesn't work or whatever, like any issues like that, White Nervosa told me to tell you guys, just email the White Leaf email at the bottom of the page. Like, if you go to the main page for the website, there's an email for support. And that's the best way to get that stuff fixed. Because it can be done manually on her end. I'm sorry for posting fucked up shit on your server and your bots have banned me there. I think I manually banned you, to be honest, for what you posted, but we might take a unban request, okay? We might make an unban request form soon and make it publicly available. I grabbed some screenshots of Sonic fans roasting the anti-woke grifter for your Sonic segment too. They're in the suggestions channel in Discord. Thanks, OnePiece34. I appreciate it. Very kind of you. Yo, by the way, if you're watching stream right now and you're having fun and you want to support it, mind you can do this for completely free simply by hitting the like button. Every single thumbs up goes a long way to boost my channel and the algorithm, and in real time forces YouTube to push my content in the algorithm to more people. So I really appreciate it. It helps a lot. And whether I'm live, whether it's like a VOD after the fact, or one of my videos going up on their own, every single like goes a long way. And I really do appreciate it, guys. Thank you. Especially those of you on the site. If you can hop over to YouTube really fast and just drop a like, it means a ton. That would probably be smart, Perry Icefire. Yeah, Google Forms goes crazy. Yo, Alexia, thank you so much for the 5 Tier 1 gifted subs. That is extremely kind of you. God damn. Shout out to Alexia. Thank you so much. What an amazing way to start off the stream. Thank you, thank you. Gifted to Green Moon 2040, Ending Bunny, Terrell, Malifors, and K-Pithone, or Theon, or K-Pithone. Thank you so much, and I hope they all appreciate their free blue names. Thank you, Alexia. According to all known laws of aviation, there is no way a bee should be able to fly. Its wings are too small to get its fat little body off the ground. The bee... I don't know the rest of the copy pasta, but thank you for putting it there. I appreciate that. I like that copy pasta. It's a good one, Alexia. Thank you. Let me update the dono goal really fast to reflect you guys' generosity. Also, ah man, Slashy, you still don't have your symbol. Yeah, so it seems clear that certain accounts are like on certain days bugged, even if it's not subs, but like when I try to give them like moderator role, their symbol doesn't show up. Can't think of why that would happen unless it's a time thing. Like maybe a day or two later, it kicks in, and the site's just slow. We'll see. Like I mod and have never gotten the wrench? Yeah, Redo, that's really weird. This is a thing that started recently, but hopefully White Nervosa will be able to find the solution. She knows about it, and she is the site developer, so hopefully she's able to figure it out. Get underneath the hood of this thing and solve this. Alright. Man, I bit the crap out of my lip while I was eating this morning, and now it hurts. And it occasionally scrapes over my teeth when I'm talking, and I don't like it. It doesn't feel good, guys. It doesn't feel good at all. But, at the very least, I can still mew. Zan, no. I'm sorry. I forgot to tell you guys to, brace for impact. I apologize. Zan, you gotta do the finger wag? That would be funny. You gotta do this. The tracing the jawline. Just, oh yeah, hold on, let's expose the whole beauty. You just gotta trace that jawline. Trace that shit on him. Call me a cat boy the way I've been mewing. So real, Circuit Dog, so real. I guess I'm a certain kind of cat boy, the kind that just mews all day. Sorry. Forgot to tell you guys to prep your ovaries. I apologize. I apologize. It's like a war crime to mew at the camera when I'm live streaming without warning. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Yeah, I'm a catboy confirmed. You guys got me. Pro mewer. I joined as you started mewing, Zan. That's good. That's good. I'm happy about that. By the way, guys, if any of you have never played Project Zomboid, I feel like I have to make this like a service announcement for you guys. Dude, Project Zomboid goes insanely hard. Allow me to show you. Just a peek at what the game is like. This is not a sponsor, no. I love this game, and I have for years now, and I've been playing it more and more lately, and I've gotten better and better at it lately, because, man, it's a hard game, dude. It's a hard game. Project Zomboid is one of the best zombie games, aside from Dying Light. Yeah, I'm also playing Dying Light on the side, but I'm doing that DLC where you have to do all the fucking Rift Portal things, and it's a little tedious, so I'm doing that in bits. Anyway, Zomboid is awesome. Graphically, not insanely impressive, but in terms of gameplay and detail, oh boy. Just watch this, dude.
Having high levels of cortisol in your brain?
Here I come.
Would you like to spend 10 hours grinding a character only to die because it's too dark to find the exit to the room? Have you said yes, sure, or yee broof? Shout out to the Brits out there. Look no further than Project Zomboid. Project Zomboid is the newest latest trip and fall simulator constructed as a service to raise your blood pressure and induce aneurysm.
By the way, one of like the 5 devs of this game, fan of me. Yeah. Seems like the dev team is pretty fucking based.
A game where guns are useless air horns and frying pans reign as the supreme tools for zombie genocide. You play as a Kentuckian whom you must craft yourself, going through the arduous process of deciding what will go into your Twitter bio and what will define your character as a survivor in the brave new world. This is a game where you can do everything or do nothing and equally accomplish the same main mission of the game. However, a free tip for the aspiring Chad is to avoid running when you're exhausted, or you will trip and die, which is the most bitch-made way to die in this game. I mean, not that I would know anything about that. Now join me as I talk about this version of Minecraft made for fully grown masochists that will get you so addicted that you will stop eating, drinking, and sleeping in real life so that you can do all those things in game instead. Character creation in this game is essentially just choosing how mentally ill you want your character to be in order to get self-rewarding score points. And you will then reinvest these points into choosing just how much of a flawless Sigma male you want yourself to be. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Before you do any of that, you must choose an occupation. I almost exclusively play burglar and engineer.
Start praying, boy.
And don't worry, if you don't, it's okay. You know, it's not a crime to be a fucking imbecile. Moving back to the trait screen, it's all about trade-offs. If you want to be the big strong man, then unfortunately you have to become an Italian. And if you want any other redeeming qualities on top of that, then it's time
you have to become an Italian. Overweight, hearty appetite, smoker, strong. Fair.
Fortunately, you have to become an Italian, and if you want any other redeeming qualities on top of that, then it's time you decide just how high you value the ability to read. In my eyes, there are 3 goated ailments: being deaf, being claustrophobic, and being agoraphobic. Deaf is given.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Everything is quiet until a jump scare plays at maximum volume. Then there's being claustrophobic, which means you are afraid of Germans and being indoors. Specifically, being in the doors of small houses where the poor people live.
I thought being claustrophobic meant you're afraid of Santa Claus.
Warehouses or mansions, all of a sudden they aren't claustrophobic anymore, exposing that they are really just elitists that hate poor people. And then there's being a gamer that upon going outside and touching the grass will quickly devolve into a full-scale panic. Choosing the reasons for why you despise yourself is quite hard, so at first you will likely err to the side of caution by only choosing a few good and a few bad. However, play for the next 20 hours and you'll soon be saying, I was just reading through the Reddit and I've got a real nice meta build coming together, brother. If I pair Thirsty Fuck without a shade, Curvy Empowerment, with Slow Healer, with Hardy Appetite, then I can finally have the app traits to live long enough to level my mechanic skills and finally get a car. If you're not ready for that level of commitment, then get off this battle bus and go spin up a random character. Random characters can be just as fun as custom characters because it's a completely randomly generated story every time. Allow me to give you a quick example. They once gave me a gymnast doctor who loved the great outdoors, fishing, hunting, but also being out of shape, smoking, and being a weak beta male. After 2 hours of being alive, he stopped in at a Motel 6 to rest his lungs, but upon leaving, a horde of zombies tripped him and he fell to the ground and was torn limb from limb. He lived a Chad life and he died a Chad death 6 hours in, an inspiration for youth everywhere. A statue will be constructed in his honor when the new world comes to life. Combat in this game captures the brutality that you would see in famous zombie movies. Sometimes you might get a clean one-hit kill if you're moodle free, but as your mental health declines, you'll have to multiply the hits to kill by like 10. Because mental ailments and exhaustion can turn a fine blade into a balloon sword, and you'd be lucky if you could even give a zombie a haircut with this shit. I mean, look at this. Not to mention, these situations bathe the room in blood, and you may kill the zombie. However, what are the untold effects that this will have on your mind? You're definitely developing a hard case of PS4D in the future. Anyways, there are 2 situations for combat that you'll find yourself in. You're either fighting a couple of zombies, or you're fighting every single zombie there is. Luckily, if it's only one zombie, you can pretty easily just tip them over and give them the old wit willy. But if it's all the
this is a great video and explains just what a great game it is. I have no notes. I genuinely just have no notes. This is a great video. I haven't watched it before. I just looked up why Zomboid is great, and this is the first one that came up. Yeah, this is a great video. Explains pretty well why Zomboid is awesome and exactly what it is like. It is insanely detailed. It is what some might call an autism game.
zombies, the council advises you to run as far away as humanly possible and then run a little further because the house you just tried to break in is protected by an ADT house alarm. You should have checked the lawn first.
Run further.
And although there is
a lot further
chance that you can take out a solid group of zombies when paired with the right weapon, there are more chances that you will die. If you hurt your foot, you will die. If you trip, you will die. And if you're fortunate, you'll live long enough to see the top right of your screen light up like a fucking Christmas tree, and your swings will have the speed and punching power of a geriatric athlete with joint pain, leading you to waddle for your life as a horde of zombies are 6 inches off of your back, desperately reaching for your cheeks. So the next time the council tells you to run from the horde, you run from the horde. Now let's dive deeper into the good stuff, the weapons of micro-destruction. Starting with melee, shovels are the best hybrids since God created the Hyundai Elantra. It's an eco-friendly solution that can both kill zombies and bury them immediately after. Simply put, this shit is beast. Then we have the sledgehammer. The sledgehammer is the best thing since God created the shovel. Nothing exhausts you completely like the sledgehammer, and nothing can cave in a skull like the Ford sledgehammer. You've seen this thing around before in hit games like Tom Clancy's Pride 7 Paradise, the greatest FPS game of all time according to IGN, and the performance here today doesn't disappoint either. Cave in a skull, then knock down some walls or garage doors and shit just to demonstrate your masculinity in front of the zombies. You know what? S tier. Sledgehammer for president. Finally, for melee weapons,
Crowbar goes crazy, Queen of Gravel.
This is the best thing since God created the sledgehammer. You can cook with it, you can kill with it, and you can pray with it. Sun Tzu always said he uses the...
I love the bit of just saying everything is the best thing since God created the next thing. Because Zomboid is just that good. That everything is just the critical woo reaction every time you encounter something new in the game, unless it kills you. Even if it does kill you, it might be funny.
Frying pan to defeat his enemies, and now so can you for the low price of $5.99. Now let's talk about guns in this game. I won't be giving a top 3 guns watch mojo list because almost every gun in the vanilla game belongs in the trash. I only like one gun,
you gotta
and
mod
that's the
that shit.
shotgun. This shotgun is the only gun in this game that actually understands the assignment and does what it is told to do. I point, I shoot, the zombies die, simple as that. Now try to do that again with a pistol, or a rifle, or a magnum. You can't. Not unless you are so
practice insanely
that you look down the sight and see the fucking future because you are a deadeye and a prophet. And if you are, I bet you can't tell me the numbers on the front of your mom's credit card and the 3 special digits on the back.
Send me that, by the way,
that
chat.
wasn't a question. You better start talking. Alright, anyways.
Yeah, DM me that on
spare
Discord,
your
please.
ears from the 5-minute rant I just cut out about how bad pistols are. I just need you to take one more look at this for me. Do I really need to say anything?
I mean, shotguns are goated.
Wear
Yeah.
as many coats and shirts as your mortal soul will allow you to wear. The health and staying alive aspects of this game are incredibly realistic, as I can now take up a pill addiction and maintain my alcoholism, which is actually a pretty solid strat for surviving in a zombie-infested world, by the way. When I get a little panicky, I take my beta blockers, and the testosterone comes running back into my veins, my hairline stops receding, and I go from beta to sigma male just like that. When I get tired, I take my night-night pills and collapse on the floor. And when I get a little depressed, I take up an alcohol addiction because it hits the trifecta of good living. For an original development team of only a small group of Brits and Canucks, they really nailed the American healthcare system. Then there's the ouchie side of health. Now I'm gonna be really honest with you here. I originally made this whole section of the video where I really broke down the health and ouchies part of, you know, keeping your character alive. And then after actually making all of it, I watched it back and realized, yeah, I was completely fucking wrong.
Man, I love this game. Like I said, get the game. Highly recommend it. One day, I might make a community server that's like whitelisted, and you want to be able to get into the game when that happens, right? Right? Zan, you hit 91,000 subscriberinos. Yes, I did. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate it. I just want to say thank you for the support lately. You guys have been popping off. In case you guys have been wondering, do the likes and the comments work? Yeah, they do. Yeah, I can tell when you guys are doing it because arrows turn upwards and green when that happens. And that's what's been happening. So please, keep it up. I really, really do appreciate it, guys. Thank you. Yeah, Ashroom, hell yeah. Anyway, Pepper T21, thank you as well for the $5 dues. I really appreciate it. Very kind of you. Very pog. Said, Mad that in Fallout 4, because I can't romance this flirty ghoul, shit's nothing to me, man. I don't need lights on. I'm talking so many rads, my dick a glow stick. It's a registered weapon from Raytheon. That's so real, Pepper T21. Thank you for the Dracula Flow bars. Appreciate it. And then once again with another $5 from Alexia. Thank you. You're popping off today. Said, how much to make you wear the onesie during the Sonic segment? Well, the onesie goal is 300. Particularly because it's kind of hot in here. And when I put that thing on, I'm basically like in a sauna for the rest of the stream. It's actually not unrealistic that I could die wearing that thing on stream one day, considering what the heat does to my fucking blood pressure, bro. God, imagine I just have a stroke in a fucking Sonic onesie on stream. I'd hope you guys would forgive me. I hope that would not be the moment you guys remember me for. We need to get to $300. I have no money. Sorry, y'all. It's all good, Snake Lover. You just hit the like button if you want to support the stream. It's all good. Perry Icefire, thank you for the $5 redues. I really appreciate that as well. Thank you, thank you. You're awesome. Thank you. You're popping off. Said Zan in chat, rate my breakfast. Homemade shredded fried hash browns, baller. White rice with sauteed steak, pretty good. The sauteed steak goes hard, but the white rice is an interesting pick. Veggies, okay. And gravy on top, with 2 eggs cooked your way, so over easy. Yeah, I do like me 2 over easy eggs. You gotta have some toast though, to dip the over easy eggs in though. You gotta make sure you do that. Yeah, white rice is great. I'm just saying, interesting choice for breakfast, I suppose, but I guess it's pretty high carb, right? It's gonna give you a lot of energy. I ate a lot of rice. Yeah, rice is awesome. I do love rice. Alrighty. Yo, chat, I'm curious. You don't have to say what state, but what country is everyone watching from today? If you feel comfortable saying. I always like to see where my viewers are from. USA, Canada, the UK, Canada, US, the USA, Canada, the US, Australia, the UK, Italy, the US. You know, I've got a fan. I believe it's Patchy. I don't know if they're here right now. I didn't see them in chat before. Who is in Iran. A country that America could go to war with. And it just makes me feel like, man, how cool is it that the internet and, like, being a YouTuber exists? That, like, I can make videos on the internet, and not only can people on the opposite side of the planet watch them and enjoy them and follow my stuff, but even people in countries that have, like, political boundaries with the one that I'm in, right? Like, that content can break those boundaries to an extent. It's like, goes hard, you know? Does Alaska count as Canada? No, Alaska is America. Did you know Alaska is like the biggest US state by a lot? I'm pretty sure it mogs Texas. I'm not wrong there, right? Like, isn't Alaska the largest US state in terms of land area? It's fucking huge. Doesn't look huge on the map, but it's fucking enormous. Yeah, easily. Yeah, I found that out a little while ago, and I was just like, no shot. I guess that makes sense, because it would be squished being so far north. But yeah, it's enormous. It mogs Texas. Alaska can fit 5 Texases in it? Dude, that is... Yeah. Yeah, it's fucking crazy, dude. Alaska is huge. Man, I want to go to Alaska someday. Who would go to the Alaskan Xander Hall fan meetup Would you guys go? We go to like the northernmost tip of Alaska and we meet like on the ice sheets. There's like polar bears walking around hunting us. Perhaps. Oh, you'd pet a polar bear, snake lover. Glad to hear that's your plan. Do approach the polar bears. I'm sure it will go well. That's true. I don't know how many ice sheets there are in North Alaska, but there's got to be some, right? Certainly at the northernmost point. And certainly during winter, right? Haven't thought about that. That would be pretty wild, Circuit Dog, but who knows? Maybe it'd be fun. We'll see if I get to be a big content creator, and that seems like a reasonable thing, I suppose. Oh my god! Holy crap! Dude! I've got to open up a separate calculator for this. Pepper T21 with the 7 Tier 4 gifted subs. I'm going to take a wild guess and say they have to be 1-monthers, right, Pepper T21? Those are just 1-monthers? For the sake of your bank account, I assume those are 1-monthers, and I would hope you didn't mean to do like 7 Tier 1 subs, right? Okay, just checking. Good God. Thank you, Pepper T21. Oh my gosh. Jesus. Oh my lord. Kiva Jazz, Lord Rose 97, Evil Rhoda, Not an Enderman, Cute Bunny Chan 98, Smiley Phantom, and Allison Jad. I hope you all appreciate your free Tier 4 gifted subs. You've got your symbols, but your names aren't the right color, but that should be getting fixed soon, as I mentioned before in the stream. Wow, thank you so much, Pepper T21. That is insane. Thank you. That is wildly generous. That is wildly generous. Thank you. Said, all right, this is going to be my last dono for a while, doing charged attack for the sake of the Sonic segment's virality. Hell yeah, thank you. I appreciate it, Pepper T21. Thank you for the well wishes, too. Oh my gosh. And then Alexia, thank you as well for the $10 donation. You are also popping off like crazy today. Thank you. Said, of course, flies away... or flies anyway because bees don't care. Oh, of course it flies anyway because bees don't care what humans think is impossible. Yellow, black, yellow, black, yellow, black. Oh, black and yellow. Let's shake it up a little. Shake it up a little, Barry. Breakfast is okay. We're going down the line, it seems. Thank you, Alexia. I appreciate the $10. Oh my gosh. Well, I've got some good news for you guys. You guys are going to be happy about this. I am happy to announce that because of you guys' insane generosity right away at the start of stream, we have met the goal for me to put on the onesie for the whole rest of the stream. Wow. I'm genuinely blown away that within the first 30 minutes, you guys just blew the goal out of the water for the daily donos, for getting me in the onesie. I really appreciate that. You guys have been extremely generous today. So I'm going to really quickly use the restroom and throw on the onesie. And might as well also grab a Monster Energy since we're about to hop into the first segment of the day. So I'll be right back, guys. Don't go anywhere, okay? Stay tuned. I'm going to put on the onesie, use the restroom, and grab myself a monster. All right, all right. Your patience has been rewarded. Sadly, I could not find the shadow onesie. I think it's still somewhere in my moving stuff, but obviously I've got my shark onesie, so this will have to do, I suppose. This will have to do. I should probably do up the final button to really solidify the effect, you know? It's not the same if the final button isn't up. There we go. Zan, how hot is it where you are? You need to install ventilation fans in this thing. It's actually a pretty cool day today, so I don't think it's going to be too bad. That's why I'm not too upset. But hey, even if it was hot out, you guys donated. I'm not going to pussy out of wearing the onesie that you guys donated for. Like Christ. My favorite fish, the shart. Ah, yes. Everyone loves great white sharks. Keanu Reeves' Shadow is perfect casting. It really is. It really is, Zeku. I'm hyped. I am indeed hyped. Yeah, dude. I wish good luck to Tyler in his surgery tomorrow. It's spinal surgery. It's from what I hear, supposed to improve problems he's had with his back for a while. So hopefully he comes out of it better than he went into it. You know. Everyone, give some well wishes, chat. Wait, Tyler who? Westside Tyler. Zan, look out, a fabric land shark is currently eating you. Yeah, I am already, like, inside of its stomach at the moment. I'm just kind of sticking my head out of its mouth, you know, giving some final words before it consumes me. But hey, the rot consumes. Anyway, enough joking around, enough memeing, enough creaming. Allow me to whip out the scroll. Let's see, where should we start today? Ooh, guys, I'm starting us off with a segment. It's so real politics that you guys might not even be able to handle how real politics this shit is. Alrighty. Y'all know what to do when I say action, right? 3, 2, 1, action. Alright, guys. This is some real politics, dude. We're about to talk about some real deal politics, and if I see the viewer count drop during this segment, I'll know for a fact that you guys are not in to real politics, that you guys are into, you guys just like drama and memes, because you know what we're talking about today? Oh boy. Oh, this is boring, but it's so important. You guys ready for some boring but important shit? You better be. Trump's economic policy and how objectively dog shit it is. You see, there is an enormous consensus among economic experts, even on the right, even ones that support Trump politically, that best case scenario, one of Trump's biggest economic policies, that being tariffing inputs from China, would be, at best, a negligible or no impact on the economy. Best case scenario. That we would notice no change. While the worst case and more likely scenario is that the working class, the consumers, the market, would have to pay more for those products. It would literally fuck over the American people. And Trump supporters and conservatives are completely unwilling to tussle with that fact. So apparently, CNN, wanting to prove this fact, decided to bring a well-known Trump supporter who's considered a financial expert of sorts and an actual economic analyst onto their show and have them debate. The economic analyst, I believe, is her name, is it Catherine Rampell? It might not be. That might just be the Washington Post opinion columnist they were referring to in a previous story. I don't know what her name is, but the Republican economic guy is Shark Tank host Kevin O'Leary. Now, I've not watched much Shark Tank, but if you don't know what the deal with it is, it's like you get a few billionaires or millionaire-like investors up on stage. They're sitting in chairs, and the goal of people coming in is to impress them and to convince them with a product idea to invest in their company. And obviously, they're going to want, on stage, they're going to try and negotiate for, like, how about $10 million in exchange for 30% of your company? That kind of thing, right? And these aspiring business owners are going on there trying to get investments to start their businesses, but at the end of the day, the show's biggest use for the sharks, so to say, is that they're investing in these companies, and even if only 1 out of 100 of them ends up being a massive success, if they can nab 30% of share ownership in one of these companies when they're worth nothing, and then they end up being like a scrub daddy, which is actually a product that went global after it appeared on Shark Tank, it's massive. Once you get to a certain level of rich, that's how you get richer, is investing in companies when they're small and buying as big of a slice as you can for as little as you can afford, helping the company get off the ground, and then way later on, selling or trading those shares, right? That's what it's all about. It's a very capitalist-y show, and people love it. Now, Kevin O'Leary, very wealthy guy, big-time Trump supporter, big-time defender of Trump's economic policy. And this woman is here to argue on that front. Now, obviously, I know that economic policy is certainly far from the most interesting thing about Trump, but I do feel it's still important to learn about why the things that Republicans want when it comes to our economic system are so destructive, because these are the things that are boring enough that nobody cares when the Republicans succeed in passing policy in this realm, but then they do once it has a very real impact on their lives. It's worth noting that Kevin defended the FTX guy. Yeah, Kevin O'Leary is a massive piece of shit. You're going to get that impression pretty quickly watching this. I have not seen this yet. I saw like the first minute, to be fair, but that was just checking to see if it was interesting. I had this sent to me by a chatter, and I am surprised that a chatter wants me to cover something that is so boring but important. But hey, I'm down. This stuff actually interests me.
I don't really understand why he keeps going back to this well of more and more and more tariffs.
Let me explain why. Let's take China. Let's take an example that every American understands, TikTok. Everybody knows TikTok. American people made a decision in Congress to ban it on midnight, Jan 19th. The supreme leader of China said, no, we're going to use your court systems to litigate the American people so that doesn't happen. I can't do that in China. The supreme leader would never let me do that. I can't protect my IP there. Chinese have been screwing my 45 businesses for 35 years. I like the idea of going to war with China with tariffs to change behavior.
But it didn't change behavior. All it did was hurt American companies.
Weak leadership that doesn't know how to implement.
This is the same leadership. It was Trump who launched the trade war with.
Like I've said before, like what she's saying here isn't even her opinion alone. It is the unanimous opinion of economic experts. Trump's policy of tariffing like imports from China is only going to hurt American businesses. And as fun and cool and base as that sounds on paper, that always means those businesses just pass the damage down to the consumer so they don't end up incurring any harm. The American businesses never actually end up being the one that the harm sticks to. It always passes down to the consumer, which is us, the working class. Obviously, we don't want this. But on paper, to a Trump supporter, as long as you only look on the first level, the first layer, of the situation, it sounds super base. Like, yeah, we're doing a trade war with China. We're telling China what for. We're going to start bringing manufacturing to America or to other countries. And it's like, okay, well, no, that's not what's going to happen. American companies and eventually, by extension, the consumers are going to end up losing money and things are going to get more expensive because the reason why we get so many imports from China already is because it's the cheapest place to get our things imported from. If we try to stop that and tariff these things, we're just going to end up paying more. It may not be a ton more. There's some debate among financial experts as to how much it could be. They've said it could be a small minority say it could be a negligible or non-noticeable change in prices if we start getting our manufacturing done from somewhere else. Well, that's almost as cheap. However, a lot of estimations are that it would absolutely noticeably increase the price of a lot of products. I mean, anything you can imagine that has a made in China thing or on it, or hell, I think, is China producing shitloads of steel or is it consuming it? I'm pretty sure China is I think China is consuming more steel and concrete than any other country. So it would be enormously stupid to tariff Chinese steel when China would clearly have an interest in buying steel from us. But why would they do that if we're tariffing theirs? Mind you, steel is one of the things the first thing Trump would tariff from China.
And it was Clinton saying, let's democratize China, let's show them democracy, and they'll play fair in the
But to
WTO.
Catherine's point,
It's
she's
time
saying,
to raise tariffs at China to 400%.
Hang on a second.
Trump already raised tariffs on China.
400%.
Not
There
enough.
have been
Dude, 400%. This guy is suggesting, I don't even know, I don't know how to get across to you how fucking nightmare that would be. I mean, imagine, Trump was suggesting a 40 to 60% tariff. Just to put that in perspective, Trump has suggested a 40 to 60% tariff. That is the range that he has repeatedly suggested. 400%. Can you imagine how fast, there would just no longer be, imports from China anymore, and how quickly prices would skyrocket? It would demolish the U.S. economy. And on top of that, it would ruin everything about the current state of China's investment in America. China low-key needs America to do well, and outright conflict with China is very unlikely for America because our economies are so inextricably tied. And that's a good thing. That's a very good thing. We rely on their imports. They rely on the fact that we are continuously importing things from them. There's a lot of money flowing into China from us and a lot of products flowing from China to us. We both benefit from this situation. The Republicans trying to demonize this world trade for their, isolationist, anti-globalist, conspiracy agenda, it is genuinely insane. They want to destroy not just our economy, but if they nuke America's economy, the world's economy is going to feel it, bro. You guys are, I don't care if you're Canadian, well, especially if you're Canadian, but if you're, the only countries that won't feel it as hard, ironically, are countries like Russia. Although even Russia might feel it because China and Russia are pretty close. So I don't even know. It might actually affect our enemies negatively if our economy goes under. Because at the end of the day, the world economy has made everybody beholden to the success of everybody else. And that's kind of one of the core benefits of globalism is that a world economy and world leaders having a desire for their countries to do well, even if it's just to serve their own ends, means that at the very least they're beholden to the well-being of other countries because they can't just lock themselves away, become self-sustaining isolationist nations that then can just engage in whatever world politics policy they feel like, rather than having a mutual need to engage in peace and relationship building between nations. That's the whole point of globalism, and it's why Republicans and conservatives demonize and fear it.
Been many studies showing that U.S. companies and consumers are the ones who bore the cost.
Academic study. I'm doing real business in China. I'm actually doing.
You're talking about academic studies. I'm doing real business in China. This is like the core difference between the way that left-wingers think and conservatives think. When a left-winger sees data and studies and it's like, oh, thousands of scientists and like professionals and academics like went through the scientific method to like come to a unanimous consensus, that's probably pretty trustworthy. Meanwhile, conservatives like to listen to a guy who says that his personal experience is special and representative of the reality, one that is not reflected by data, and thus always have to insist whenever that data is brought up that the data is not trustworthy, and only some guy's experience is trustworthy. Look at examples such as Tim Pool. Look at examples like I've seen the documents Alex Jones. Look at examples like Project Veritas. All just, hey, trust this guy's story who's just telling you something that happened. It is more trustworthy than a unanimous consensus of experts. It's the fundamental difference between how you appeal to conservatives and how you appeal to progressives.
Doing business there.
Yeah.
I'm actually working
American
there.
companies,
There's no academics in my
where
companies.
do you think they buy their inputs from?
Let me explain something to you.
From China.
The Chinese
It
steal
hurts
my
American-
IP. They make the same
Because if we stop getting our imports from China, we're just going to end up paying more. It's that simple. Experts agree on it. It's just there's a reason why all of our imports are from China now. It's cheapest for these companies. If they started having their manufacturing and imports come from other countries, wouldn't they already be doing that there if it was cheaper? Cutting China off as an option is not a good idea. Like tariffing the imports so they're more expensive from China is not a good idea. Trump's plan is literally just tricking Americans into cheering for prices on everything they buy that comes from China to go up. It is so depressing when you know how obvious it is and how surprisingly simple the situation is. Like, listen, economics isn't like a cakewalk, but it's also not insanely complicated. At least this issue isn't. You simply Google, what do experts think of Trump's tariff plans? And you will find dozens of academic reports and articles that are reports on those academic reports of a consensus that it would be bad, and best case scenario is it would have no effect, but it probably will have an effect and it won't be good. Like, it's really not that hard, but the average American is so economically illiterate when it comes to, you know, the world and American economy that Trump's talking points about how we're going to lower taxes and tariff China, they're like, yeah, that's what we need to fix the U.S. economy. That's what's going to make everything right. And of course, getting rid of immigrants too. They also believe that'll help. Even though, once again, overwhelmingly, experts agree that immigration is a massive net benefit to the U.S. economy, and it would be catastrophic if we cut off immigration entirely, or even largely, due to the massive cutting off of labor flow that we would have. Like, the amount of the labor that immigrants are doing, particularly from south of the border, is unfilled labor positions when you don't consider immigration. Like, native-born U.S. citizens aren't doing it, so that work would be undone. The economy would suffer for it. There's just nothing that the Republicans suggest, despite having this reputation for being the economically savvy party, would actually help the U.S. economy. Just because they're a party of super rich bastards doesn't mean they're economically savvy. Like, if they were economically... Like, mind you, isn't it funny how when Nancy Pelosi is like a god at trading stocks, which she is, by the way, like insanely so, the right, instead of recognizing real, instead accuses her of insider trading, while these people are touted as like their wealth being a show of how good of a job they would do running the country. It's just a blatant double standard. It's a blatant double standard.
product with the molds that I pay for there. They ship them into this country under a different brand. I don't like it anymore, and I've been trying to solve this for 30 years.
If you tariff everything from China at
There's no
60%,
academic in my world. I'm
you're going to be
doing business
paying
in
more
America.
for the stuff
let
you
Catherine
buy.
finish
You're
her
going to be
thought real
paying
quick
more for the
before you
stuff you
jump
buy.
back in.
They knew even in
Simple.
the 1600s
No, you're wrong.
that you should
I'm
not
not
tariff the
buying it.
inputs.
Kevin,
Let's just take a yoga mat.
Every American.
Put
Kevin,
a
just let her
400%
finish.
tariff on a yoga mat. We'll make it in Vietnam or make it in India or make it in America. We won't buy anything.
If it was less expensive, if it wasn't going to be more expensive to get our imports from those countries, then why aren't we doing it more than China already? Where China is the biggest importer to America because it's the cheapest for the U.S. consumers. So once again, her point stands. We would end up paying more. The U.S. companies would end up paying more, which would mean they make the consumer pay more.
I think with China. And the
It will
Supreme Leader
still be
will
more
come,
expensive.
He'll come
it
to New
will
York.
be more expensive.
No.
Absolutely, it
We
would
won't
be.
buy it from there.
Wait,
What do you mean we
but
won't buy
also-
it?
Hold
Well,
on,
to
hold
read
on
up
one
there.
second, because I get the
Why
back
are you
and
raising
forth,
the price?
But Kevin, you're having a different. This is always what happens when we talk about Trump and the economy. People come
Nothing
on
to do
here.
with Trump.
Hang on,
We're
hang
talking
on.
about
No,
China.
just hang on. People come on the show. And then they defend a different economic policy than the one that Trump is advocating. He says in the clip,
Yeah,
what am I
fair.
going to do? Negotiate?
Fair. Even though the shit that this guy is suggesting is stupid and awful, it's not even the same thing that Trump is suggesting. Because mind you, Trump supporters don't defend Trump. They defend their best steel man of the shit Trump says and does. And it's never what he actually said or did. So it's always bullshit, right? But regardless, they try to make it seem less ridiculous and embarrassing to be a supporter of him by defending him in these bullshit ways, right?
With China or Mexico, he doesn't want to negotiate. He says you're not going to get anything from them. Okay, that's what he says. He does not want to negotiate. Also, the question I asked you is, where is the rest of the plan? Where is the rest of the economic plan?
Well, why don't you just
What-
look at
There
his
is none.
track record for the
It's
last...
just a talking point.
The term that he had, no inflation, fantastic.
He's just going to nuke the economy. No inflation. I'm sorry. Did the inflation rate not fluctuate constantly under Trump? The thing that Trump had that was so beneficial was the low interest rates during his presidency, and that wasn't even because of his economic policy. I've yet to meet a single Trump supporter or see a single Trump supporter that can explain, okay, here are the policies that Trump put into place that lowered the inflation rate and lowered interest rates. I've yet to see a single Trump supporter capable of telling me or saying what policies Trump did that and how they did it. Because I can specifically point to Biden policies and how they've helped the economy. I can point to policies like Biden opening up the permits for more green energy and domestic oil drilling than any president or administration in American history, and how it brought hundreds of thousands of new jobs. And how much that alone dropped the unemployment rate. I'm sorry. Not to mention the influx of immigration has, I believe, dropped the underemployment rate as well. So we've got more jobs being fulfilled that are not otherwise getting enough people applying. As far as I'm aware, there's a lot of reasons and ways that Biden has improved the economy during his time. In fact, these same improvements, if Trump wins, are probably going to be why, even if Trump does fuck up our economy in the long run with these policy decisions, he's going to be able to take credit for another 4 years of economic, stability.
Fantastic wage growth. I mean, look, he actually sat in the seat at the
You
White
forget
House.
2020.
You may not like what he did, or you may
President
not like
Trump
him,
was president in
but
2020.
I don't remember 9% inflation when he was
I
around.
remember 18% unemployment. I mean, I remember.
Yes! People have memory hold so hard how fucked the economy was at the end of Trump's presidency. It's a big part of why he lost in 2020 as well, mind you, is because we were literally relying on stimulus checks. Trump was the only reason the stimulus checks happened. Mind you, Trump fought them, is because at the end of the day, Trump gave up fighting them because he recognized that if he allowed them to go through, it might help him win the election, which was a month or two away at that point. You guys remember that, right? How fucked the U.S. economy was during the last few months of Trump? Trump did not get to skate off the memory of a good economy during the last election, but people memory hold those last few months since the last election. They memory hold that, and they just remember the majority of Trump's presidency where he got the benefit from Obama's 8 years of progressive economic policy. And they memory hold it. I don't know what else to say. It's Trump fucked the economy. We've experienced it. People just don't remember. They still give Trump credit for a good economy. Can't explain how he did it, but hey, the economy was good when he was president, so makes sense, right?
Happened when that was going on?
Oh, a pandemic that he bungled.
Are you saying he created the virus?
No, but he absolutely made it worse.
Wait, what? Wait, a pandemic that he bungled. Are you saying he created the virus? I can tell that guy is a Republican pundit. I see. Is he from Fox News? Because that guy seems like he might be from Fox News.
By lying about the risk, by telling people not to get tested, don't get tested.
You're saying he should have personally cured
He's going to bring up like Fauci or something.
the virus as the
No,
president.
I'm saying
You're saying he should have personally gone out there, like Jesus Christ himself, put his hands on every American's head and cured them magically of the virus? I love when they do that. I love when they say something super retarded or try to project a really retarded statement on a progressive, and they hit him with that, like, smug monster from the show From smile. Like, just that communication of, you know exactly what I'm doing, you know that I know what I'm doing, and the audience is too dumb to get it, and they're falling for what I'm doing, and you know that. And, like, he's just sort of, like, gleefully signaling to her that, like, he's doing the thing that conservatives do, you know? That's why they're always so smug when they make their incorrect arguments.
he should have given his tests to Americans rather than to
She did not say that. I mean, but Scott, okay.
I'm sorry. This idea that somehow because Trump was the president, that the virus has political proclivities and decided.
I'm sorry. Would we like to look at countries that took COVID seriously and what the infection and death rates were there? Because I can point you to New Zealand, where they took that shit seriously. New Zealand did not fuck around with COVID. And I think they never broke 1,000 infections. They may have by now, but last I checked, it was late into COVID, and they weren't even close to 1,000 total infections nationally in New Zealand. And that's just an example of one country that took it seriously. Hell, China went full martial law to deal with COVID, and they've handled it way better. It's just massive copium to say that Trump handled COVID well. He just didn't. He didn't. Mind you, there is blame to be had on, like, Fauci with the whole lying about masks not working thing. It was done for good reason, but it was a lie. They do have a shred of truth to that. But regardless, Trump lied even harder. He encouraged his entire follower base to spread the virus, and millions of Americans are dead now and going to die because of this virus. It's now a forever thing. It's just a seasonal killing flu now. A very powerful, more deadly than the flu, seasonal flu now. It's just around. It's not going anywhere. I disagree. China handled it worse. At least in the beginning when they went full martial law, that shit was effective. But eventually, yeah, because China is a, like, authoritarian autocracy and they want to continue with their economy building, then yeah. Hong Kong handled it well. That's good to hear. But I know that China in particular handled it well early on, but much like with Trump, although to be fair with China, it is actually somewhat legitimate because their economy is exploding massively, like to the extent that, if you don't know this, by the way, China holds the #1 position for the most new millionaires per day. Every single day, China is getting, like, I don't know, it's like 100 or something new millionaires or something crazy like that. Like, not only is their infrastructure rapidly growing, their economy is rapidly growing, their millionaire population and billionaire population is rapidly growing, because this is a very capitalist country, despite what tankies will tell you, little reminder of that. So yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if they did a whole, like, force back to work type thing so they could keep that momentum going.
To prolong itself has been crazy to me since it's been floated.
You don't think leadership mattered at all?
The virus? No, I don't actually.
You don't?
I don't believe the virus.
You don't think it matters?
Politicians.
You don't think it matters that Trump withheld various kinds of testing kits and PPE from states that were asking for it, and then he told them to go buy it themselves, and then
you think that was the masks? Is that what you think?
And then he outbid them for it, so they couldn't.
No argument, just really? That's what you think? I really do. Oh, man. No wonder Anna Kasparian fell to the dark side, man. It really is, like, just so much work being a progressive figure, having to, like, research and care about things and like, genuinely try to keep up with the truth. But then being a conservative pundit, you make way more money, and you just get to spread bullshit. You don't have to, like, know anything other than, like, the canned talking points, and you just have to be good at putting on a suit, going in, and laughing and hand-waving off real arguments and criticism and telling people what they want to hear, as long as it leads to your worldview and your ideology. God, it's such a grift. It's been going since the advent of talk radio, man. Probably longer.
Anybody worried about
and then
the
he sent it
virus
to
in this
Putin.
election? No, I was talking about virus.
I do want to get back to the economic
mean, you are implicitly
question here,
by
because,
pretending it didn't
Scott,
happen.
Republicans keep saying that this election is about the economy. Now, I guess it's maybe also about immigration, but it is about the economy when you ask voters. And again, like, I'm wondering, what else is Trump planning on doing, and can he articulate
Well,
it?
to me, I think it's a great question.
Can he
and it needs to
articulate
be
it?
fleshed out. I think we should probably play the clip, though, of Harris from the Chicago Economic Club or the. Oh, do we not have it? Because she didn't show up to talk. So here's what I think. He's going to extend the tax cuts. He's going to.
God, they're just so fucking skeevy. Like, well, we should play the clip of Harris at the event Trump went to. Oh, wait, she didn't go to that event. Okay. What's this have to do with Trump's policy? Like, you're literally like 5 beats away from saying, well, Hillary Clinton, if you haven't forgotten, like 2024 Hillary Clinton arguments.
Rein in the federal government and the overburdensome regulatory state, which he can now do because of the Supreme Court. And he's going to take on these countries that screw American workers. That's the plan. And by the way, he's going to crack down on immigration to the benefit.
True Democratic Isaiah 98. I didn't say they had the best infrastructure. I said their infrastructure is exploding. Sometimes literally, but literally like growing out. Like they're consuming immense amounts of steel and cement and concrete because expansion. Unfortunately, a lot of infrastructure is being allowed to crumble, but like I said, massive expansion. And they want to keep that going, no doubt.
Of American workers.
He's going to deport 20 million people, the people who pick your crops, the people who process your meat, the people who, care for your grandmother, the people who serve all sorts of critical functions in this country. Yeah.
I love his little smile because it's all it takes, right? Just a smugly smile like, nah. Just give that like nah face in response to a real argument. And conservatives eat it up, especially if it's a man doing it to a woman, like just letting her know, putting her in her place, that's what conservatives like. The fact is that she's completely right, though. She is, of course, the actual economic expert here, not a right-wing pundit. She is talking about the fact that workers that come from other countries, even illegal immigrant workers, but legal immigrants as well, overwhelmingly fill spots in the economy or in the working, like in the worker... what's the word for it? And like the worker slots, right, that are otherwise not being filled. Take, for example, the most common, which is non-high school graduate applying labor, right? So imagine like your classic manual labor, stuff that doesn't require a high school degree. These jobs, if we get rid of immigration, don't get done. Like no one's applying for them. Like they're just not. Even with the amount of non-high school graduates in America, of which there are a good amount, those jobs they're not getting done. There is not demand for those jobs, except for among immigrants. They will do that work. In fact, it's ideal. They're willing to do it. It pays well enough. It doesn't require things that they can't do because of not being from America, particularly language stuff. And oftentimes it can be done under the table because unfortunately in this country we're unwilling to provide like easy ways of getting a job for illegal immigrants. Because we assign a lot of evilness, I guess, to the concept of illegal immigration for no fucking reason. But the fact is our economy is held up and is constantly growing in large part due to an influx of immigration. That is a worker resource that is constantly flowing into the country. Trump is running on the idea of cutting off that flow. and it is Republicans' prerogative to chuckle, smuckle, and smugly smile, and go, nah, in response to experts as they tell you this, because Republicans need to believe the reason why they have problems, why their lives aren't as good as they believe they should be, why the economy isn't as good as they believe it should be, is because the immigrants. It must be the immigrants. It must be the brown people.
Yeah, he's going to deport a lot of people, and that's going to worsen the economy. In fact, there have been, I don't know, like a dozen different independent economic analyses from Goldman Sachs, AEI, Brookings, Nomura.
I guarantee you he's going to respond with something along the lines of, well, do you really trust these crazy globalists, blah, blah, blah. He's going to, like, do a pseudo-socialist talking point to try and discredit those institutions, I bet. I feel it. I feel it in my fucking gut, dude. Whenever you try to appeal to a conservative's fake sense of economic, like, knowledge or caring about, like, capitalism or the economy, they immediately they transform, like with a poof of smoke. They transform into a fucking socialist, and all of a sudden they hate corporations, and they hate fucking investment funds, and they hate all these things that, like, are core to capitalism, the ideology that their entire political beliefs are built around. And it's like, okay, so you actually don't care about making the economy better. It's more about keeping brown people out. The making the economy better is just a fake excuse for why you want to do it. Not because they're brown, but because somehow, imaginarily, they're making the economy worse and doing more crime, but they're actually not, and you're not going to accept that they don't, because otherwise you have to accept that, well, the obvious reason why they want to keep brown people out of the country.
Peterson Institute,
Look,
all of them
I know your argument. If you want to run on more illegal immigration as a Democrat, go ahead. I just don't think...
What, man, he's so slimy. Who is this guy? Can I get a name on this guy? Oh, man, I bet this dude has, like, a long Wikipedia page of, like, in 2020, he said that Democrats, or that Joe Biden is a pedophile 487 times. It would be some shit like that. No, this is not Kevin O'Leary. No, that's not him. Kevin O'Leary's the bald guy.
I think it's going to work in the election.
He wants to deport 20 million. I'm not done with his. I know what his economic policy is because he has talked about it. He doesn't understand how any of it would work, but he has talked about it. He wants 10% global tariffs, which would worsen inflation. He wants to.
Well, remember, ma'am, they can't let you talk about his economic policy because if you actually explain what his economic policy is and what effect it'll have, everyone might realize, oh, especially if they Google it, oh, this is really bad. So he's got to make sure he interrupts you and doesn't let you get an entire thought out because you might actually educate a right-wing viewer.
To deport 20 million people, which would worsen inflation and reduce growth. He wants to politicize the Federal Reserve, which would worsen inflation. He wants to devalue the dollar, which would worsen inflation.
And after all that,
all of these things.
The American population wants that economy back. What do you say to that?
I say that we should be talking about what the policies.
There it is, guys. Trump was president when the economy was like that. Can't explain and won't explain any way that Trump is responsible for it. But hey, he was president when the economy was like that. That means he's responsible for it. That's Trump's economy. Those are the rules, I guess, that we all pretend are true. And that's how the presidency or the economy works. And so you can be a literal expert explaining in depth what his policies are and how they're harmful. But hey, people want that Trump economy back. What could you say to that? What could you say to that?
They're just too dumb to understand.
And the fact is, he's not wrong. People do want that Trump economy back. And if Trump wins in November, it'll be because they remember what that Obama-era economy Trump presided over before the last few months of his election, of his presidency, were like. They memory hold the last bit, but they'll remember the majority of it. They'll attribute it to Trump, and they'll want it back, and that's how he'll get reelected, if he does get reelected.
All about messaging.
No, it's because we don't talk about it.
Because a lot of people don't understand, Kevin, what tariffs are. They see it as this great punishment to China that we're going to do. He says he's going to raise it up. He said today 2,000%.
The hilarious thing, not even going to hurt China. Not even going to hurt China. The most it'll hurt China is if U.S. businesses stop getting their imports from China and choose like another country, let's say India, for example. We're just going to end up paying more. So that'll just be the new status quo. It'll feel like inflation, but technically won't be. It'll just be prices going up, which is what Americans think inflation is. So maybe it'll have, maybe even without the higher inflation rate, you'll be able to point to the higher prices and still have the same impact on Trump's perception. But like I said, he just said 2,000. Are they raising it by like magnitudes every time they reference the like tariff rate they want to go for? Jesus Christ.
Tariffs on China. But here's the thing, it punishes the American importer. The Chinese are paid. Once you pay for those molds, the Chinese have put that money in their pocket, and then you are charged for the tariffs when you're bringing your molds in. So, and then, and just one other point that he said.
Moving back to America.
But one other point,
They did
one
not.
other point,
They did not
one
do
other
that.
point is he says that that's going to incentivize people to come back. That's pie in the sky. If I give 2,000% tariffs on China.
America is one of the most expensive places to do your manufacturing from. Why the fuck would American companies decide to start doing their production here? They're just going to pick another country that's a bit more expensive, and regardless, it's never going to affect them at the end of the day. They're just going to pass the loss in their profits down to us and make us pay more. That's how it always goes.
China. It's going to force all these people to come back. No, I'm for American jobs.
You know what?
And that's why I support Kamala.
Well, mind you, this guy with his whole talk about American jobs certainly doesn't know, or if he does not want it to be brought up, that Biden, and if they want to say Kamala is basically already the sitting president, like they've been saying for a while now, bullshittily, it's not even a real thing. It's just like, it's based on the idea that Biden is like asleep all day, and so Kamala Harris is like serving the job of president. And so whenever you see conservatives say, why hasn't Kamala done anything yet? Just know they're basing that on this like conspiracy assumption that Kamala Harris is like the puppet, is like puppeting Biden right now and is actually the acting president. Literally a conspiracy theory. Shut that shit down right away. Say, nope, she is not the president. Biden is the president. Her job is not the president's job. What is happening now does not reflect 101 to Kamala's presidency. She is not the same person. It is not her administration. So yeah, just shut that shit down. It's completely, that talking point, completely based on a conspiracy theory. But if they want to operate under that assumption that Biden's performance reflects on Kamala's potential performance, Biden's created hundreds of thousands of jobs with one policy alone, and that was expanding green energy and oil production in the U.S. Like here, domestically. Like, have you seen the dudes on like social media and stuff talking about the oil fields that have been opened up? Like, hey, you want a good paying job? Go, you can apply for a job at the oil fields. It's been like a meme because so many dudes are like, yo, what the fuck? These oil field jobs pay like crazy. So if you're like down to do physical hard labor and to get paid a lot per hour for it, those jobs in the oil fields, very worth it. That's Biden. That is a position that got expanded and opened up under Biden to the point where they're hiring massively, and it's become a meme for young, like, down-to-do hard labor who want a good pay for it dudes to apply for. That's Biden, baby. That's Democrat economic policy, creating jobs, actually doing the thing that Republicans like to virtue signal about doing and then never actually do.
Kamala Harris, and I supported President
So you know what jobs
Biden
Americans
because
work
they brought manufacturing back when President Trump didn't. The tariffs that he's talking about is not going to incentivize anybody else to go, oh my goodness, I'm not going to want to pay those tariffs, so I'm going to build this plant here in America.
I actually agree with
it's
you
not
on tariffs
because
with their European allies, but not with China, because unfortunately I live in the real world and not all of you are doing business. China, like I am, they cheat, they steal.
I live in the real world. That's why you can only take my stories as fact. These studies and this data and these expert consensus, it's all Ivory Coast academic bullshit. I'm a real businessman working and doing business in China, and I can tell you what's really going on. I tell you how it is. And that's what conservatives like. They like to find people who tell them how it is, which is, of course, never what the actual experts say. It's the same thing as like when people say, I look for experts to tell me how it is, how it really is, and they go and watch a guy telling them the Earth is flat, and NASA is Jewish conspiracy liars telling us the Earth is round falsely, and 1 trillion people are in on the conspiracy because that would be what would be necessary to convince everybody the Earth is fucking flat.
They don't
or round, whatever.
play by the
Well,
level
I don't
playing
think they
field.
Right, but yet you're
are
doing
you going
business
to
there.
invest in a
But
business
yet you're
that
doing
makes
business there.
nails? Are you going to invest in a business that makes all of the low value inputs that we buy
I'm a
from
lowly
China?
businessman
No,
investing.
because they don't have any value add.
That's a good call, by the way. That's a very good call. I would just love to ask him, why don't you, right now, where do you have your production done? Where do you have your production done for your companies? Where is it done? It's done in China, mind you, like 100%, like 90% of any product that is produced by a company he owns any stake in, China. Why don't you do it in India? Why don't you do it in like Taiwan or something? Like, why not? Why is it China? Oh, because China's the cheapest? Oh, because everything she's saying is right and your business operates under that assumption that China is the cheapest for manufacturing and import? Because that's the case and you're willing to accept it when it comes to your bottom dollar, but not when it comes to an online or on TV argument about politics? Huh. Interesting, Kevin O'Leary. Interesting. I wonder why. When your money is on the line, your companies are doing their manufacturing in China, like everybody else's. But on the show, you're like, no, we need to stop doing it. Oh, yeah, no more China. Why isn't it out of another country? Why is it China? That'd be my question to him. He's a business owner. He's the Shark Tank guy. Why are all these companies he owns shares and shares and shares and big pieces of manufacturing out of China primarily? Why not move it all to other countries? He knows why. He'll never admit it because it doesn't make Trump look good. But when his money's on the line, he makes the right choice. He understands this issue just fine when it's about his money on the line in private. But he pretends like he doesn't get it or acts like he does, but to anyone who knows, to her, he is pretending like he doesn't get it and is pretending to be, super dedicated to a wrong opinion that he truly believes. But he knows. That's how he's so successful. Nobody who is as wealthy as Trump or Kevin O'Leary is this illiterate when it comes to economics. No one.
Do you agree with the Biden tariffs on China?
No.
So
I've been very, very critical.
So
of
since
those.
Harris is running on that, how do you view the difference between their postures?
I think her tariffs, which are in.
Mind you, the tariffs that Kamala Harris wants to do on China, even if they are bad, economic experts agree, nowhere near as bad as what Trump wants to do. And also, Kamala Harris's economic policy across the board is overwhelmingly more positive than Trump's. So, like, you can say, oh, but Kamala Harris might also do the thing that Trump says he's going to do. How is this an attack on Kamala? Can you explain any other reasons why Kamala's economic policy is bad besides she might do a thing that Trump promises to do, the guy who you support? Can you give any other reason than Kamala and Trump are the same for why Kamala is bad? Please, sir.
In fact, a continuation of Biden tariffs are dumb ideas. I think that we have lots of evidence showing that Americans pay those. I don't really understand.
So yeah, she's right. Not every single economic policy from the Democrats is good. Like, the Democrats are far from perfect. They're just so much better than the Republicans that there's not usually much of a point in talking about their flaws. But that is kind of the point that Republicans are going for. They recognize that most progressive commentators are honest people who have criticisms of the Democrats, and they want to get you to talk about your criticisms because to your moderate voters, it reads as even progressives don't like the Democrat candidate, but the Republicans love their candidate so much, he must be so good. He must be so representative of what the people want. And that's the perception they want people to get, which is why you should never, ever, ever cede that ground in a conversation. No, this is a conversation about Trump's economic policy. Keep it on topic. That's what you say. Just shut it down. They know what they're doing. You're not gonna... Don't be afraid of coming off as too mean or whatever. They know what they're doing. I just got done voting in the polls, and I voted all blue for my early vote. Let's go. Let's make Texas blue. Let's go, Takumi Night Corps. Blue Texas all the way. That's what we want. Anyway, guys, If you enjoyed this segment, found it enjoyable, entertaining, or even educational, then please consider perhaps leaving a like. It actually supports the channel directly and forces YouTube to push my content and the algorithm out to more people, and helps a ton. Commenting as well kind of boosts the effect of the likes, so I really appreciate that too. And of course, if you haven't already, consider subscribing and ringing the bell icon to turn on all notifications on YouTube, so that YouTube actually tells you when I go live or upload a new video, because if you don't, they won't. And of course, if you want to follow my social medias to see more from me on other platforms, you can do so through the links in the description, including the link to my fan Discord down below, the main hub of my community, totally free to join. And on top of that, I host game events, call-in streams, watch parties, and I announce all my new uploads and streams there. So if you want to be a part of my community, like the main core of it, make sure you join my fan Discord. I highly recommend it. It's a great time there, too. Great fun. And of course, finally, if you want to support me directly, like a lot of lovely people have so far today, thank you, by the way, help me keep the lights on and a roof above my head here at the Xander Hall studio. You can always donate, subscribe, or gift a sub on my website, xanderhall.com/live, or support me financially through YouTube, Twitch, Streamlabs, Stream Elements, Patreon, or buying merch at the Streamlabs link down below. Regardless, though, no matter how you watch this video, even if you're just a lurker, watching and not saying anything, I really do appreciate it. I hope to see you again, and have a good one. How do you guys like that segment? I feel like it came out really well. Twitch is getting worse. Oh yeah, Cute Bunny Chan. It really, really is. Good Seggy. It wasn't as boring as chat thought. I know, I overplay how boring, like, real politics, economic stuff is. Maybe it's my passion for it that makes it more entertaining, because I yell and get angry about, like, what percentage the tariff people are suggesting we should do on Chinese imports or whatever. Maybe I just yell and get angry about it in a way that makes it entertaining. Yo! Micah Moran, thank you for the $5 super chat over on YouTube. I really appreciate that. Said, I just joined, and Zan is in a shark suit. At least he looks cute in it. You know, frankly, it's actually perfect I wore the shark suit for that last segment. When that goes out as a video, it's going to almost seem like I dressed for the segment, because I'm talking about the Shark Tank guy. It's like, I'm a shark. Me too. Let's see, did I miss any super chats? Doesn't seem so. Good, just making sure. I miss them sometimes during segments, and I always feel bad. I always feel so bad. Yo, Alexia! Thank you so much for the $10 dues. How kind of you. Thank you, thank you. You are popping off today as well. God damn. You are goated. Said, Super Earth, our home. Prosperity, liberty, democracy. Our way of life. But freedom doesn't come free. Q, monster eating the family. No! Sweet liberty! No! How do you guys like my, my reading of the script? I feel like I did a good job. I feel like that was solid. Thank you, Alexia. I appreciate the $10 dues. Very kind of you. Very based. Thank you, thank you. Yo! And then Slashy, the goat. The Lincoln goat. Coming out with the 2 tier 1 gifted subs. Hot damn, thank you so much. You guys are popping off today. You guys are immensely generous. Thank you. Gifted to I'm Just Here 029 and JWolf76. I hope you guys appreciate those free tier 1 gifted subs. And said, to prepare you, here is a funny tweet and then a link. What was this? Sonic fans unsure how to respond to media being widely well received. Is it because there's always so much shit talking about any new Sonic thing that comes out? Like, just in general? That's funny. You look so cozy, Zan? Oh, thank you, Fads. I appreciate it. Yeah, I am a pretty cozy boy right now. I'm pretty wrapped up in my onesie at the moment. RDV Glotoon, thank you for the $5 super sticker. Dang. Didn't even say anything, just dropped a super sticker. It's like a little dinosaur or a bird or something going really fast. Gotta go fast, I suppose. Gotta go fast. Oh my lord, whoa! Yeah, the white name genocide has been wild today, guys. You guys have been dishing out those gifted subs, giving people colored names. I like it. Thank you. I appreciate it. I hope you like your blue names and your purple names and your gold names. And even, sometimes, occasionally, your red names. Alrighty. I have a question from the last live stream. Do you think that Elon Musk's uncensoring of Twitter has emboldened social media companies like Twitch and Facebook to allow such immoral content? Yes. Yeah. No, he literally, like, Mark Zuckerberg has come out recently to say that in the future, whenever the White House, like, reaches out to ask them to censor, like, say, revenge porn of the president's son, which was the thing that the White House asked to be, like, suppressed, they outright said, like, we're never doing that again. Like, whether it be misinformation, conspiracy theories, revenge porn, if the White House or the government ever asks us to censor something on our platform again, we're refusing. Mark Zuckerberg himself has promised this as of, like, a month ago. I did a whole segment about it. He was empowered and motivated by Elon Musk, and how he's just, like, continued to get away with breaking all of these rules and laws around running a website, and realized that there's actually just nowhere near as much regulation and consequences as was originally thought. And so, yeah, these companies are about to get a lot more lax with their moderation and a lot more promoting of far-right conspiracy theories and misinfo, because YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, everything has realized, based on Elon and Twitter, that they can get away with this shit now. A lot of it's the fact that bots are all you really need to keep enough money flowing to keep the platform up, too. So, with the advent of bots and AI being so good, these sites realize that they can just keep an audience of like 50% bots posting and engaging, and the site can continue to stay up. Damn, KC. Yeah, I kind of predicted that would happen. Must have just been a year off on my prediction, but I guess I was right. There was a good while there where I'd get like comments in my video about how Young Ripa is falling off. Like, he has more subs than you and just started his own comic book run. And it's like, all right, man. And apparently, like, a year later, he's down like 15k subs in a month. Jesus. Sorry, down 15k in 5 months. So that's 5 months of straight sub loss. That's crazy. I don't think you can recover from that as a YouTuber. That might be, like, actually a death sentence for your channel. Like, genuinely, 5 months of sub loss? That's insane. I've never, like, the worst bout of sub loss I've had was, like, a month. And I thought it was Jover. DJ Reaper Skier says, but please, for the love of God, do not, and I mean do not call... Wait, what? Why would I do that, DJ Reaper Skier? What the fuck? Ride the Rails, thank you for the tier 1 gift sub to V-Rose. I really appreciate that. Very kind of you. Thank you for the $5 dues. Says, there will be no resisting the white name genocide. So true. So true. Thank you for the $5 dues. I appreciate it. Why do I have to burp so bad today? It couldn't be because of the tall can of carbonated beverage I'm drinking. It couldn't possibly be that. What else could it be, chat? Did you / are you going to cover Trump's crypto coin? It's a wild grift operated by a guy who founded Dale Hodder Girls LLC, Lamau. Actually, yes. I have it here on the scroll, actually. If you can read it here, it's flipped, but Trump Crypto is right here. I know it's all, like, scribbly and poorly written. It's because I write it like this with nothing to push against, so it's really just chicken scratch. But yeah, Trump Crypto is on that scroll. Don't worry. It's on the list. Zan, count the super chats toward the dono goal. I actually, the reason why I don't do that is because super chats, as far as YouTube is concerned, count as ad revenue. Like, they just get, like, lumped into ad revenue, which you receive, like, a month later in your YouTube check. Kind of, like, homogenized into like a combination of your ad revenue and any super chats or super stickers you get, but it does mean that it's not like tangible until that day, and it can totally be refunded easily until a month later. So it could just like disappear and you wouldn't even know, right? So it doesn't really count as sent until like that day when it locks in, which is usually why I don't count it like on the little counter thing. I've been charged back before on big super chats. There was someone who donated like $900 in a super chat once, and I was pretty incredulous that they weren't. I was pretty incredulous that they wouldn't like charge it back, so I refused to like assume that was money that I had. And sure enough, like right before it locked in, charged back, and I was like, knew it, fucking knew it. I knew that wasn't gonna go through. I knew it. Yeah, I never trust donos that are too big because they can always get chargebacked, and that's a way that people have fucked with content creators for a long time, like charging them back after a big dono, and like trying to overdraft their accounts and make them like owe something to a to like PayPal or their bank or something like that. That's like an old school way of fucking with streamers and content creators. The chargeback method used to be rampant, dude. Alrighty. Somebody did that to Co-Carnage for a charity for like $100,000. Yeah. Yeah, dude. Twitch does the same shit, where you don't actually receive the donation for a month, and until then it can be charged back. It doesn't, like, technically exist, and can totally be, like, revoked. By the way, love your name, Snowman Saves Eorzea. Love that name. If only you came, either 3 days ago, or the day after tomorrow, I would be playing Cerulean Smoke at high noon from FF14 Dawn Trail. That's my other background music that I play when I stream. Did you say there's a new DJ Mule video? How funny would it be to watch that? Oh, God. Hilarious. Alrighty. What do we do next? You know what? Since it just got brought up...
Today.
All right, guys. Y'all know what to do when I say action, right? 3, 2, 1, action. All right, guys. I cannot believe I'm saying this, but at the same time, it's just so believable. Like, I shouldn't be surprised in the slightest, but Donald Trump, in the same way that a content creator on YouTube or Twitch or Rumble would, is endorsing a crypto scam. And hilariously, it's an even more shameless form of crypto scamming than the traditional kind. You're probably familiar with, like, the most standard form of crypto scam, the rug pull, the pump and dump, if you will. You as a content creator get reached out to by some group that's starting a crypto coin, right? And they're going to name it, let's say, like, after you, right? Let me give a fictional example. Bumsnutsack.llc or whatever reaches out to me, okay? And they say, hey, we want to make Zan coin. It'll have your face on it, like the digital representation of it, and we're going to set it at, like, 0.010 cents starting price for the sake of example. And, you know, we want you to promote it, and we're going to give you this much money just up front, and we're also going to give you this many coins, right? Like, before you even make your endorsement of it, right? Now, they obviously were the first to buy in on this coin. They own a ton of it. But then you buy a bunch, right? Like, you get your free stuff, and maybe you buy a bunch too. because you're about to promote it if you're a content creator who takes this option, and some have. For example, Boogie2988, Andrew Tate, plenty of other content creators. Logan Paul has done this. They promote the crypto. They promote it like it's their their life depends on it. And they put out as many incentives, tell as many lies, or imply as many things as they need to make their fans buy that coin. And as Andrew Tate himself surprisingly put it best, for anyone to win in crypto, a lot of people have to lose. And so that's exactly what happens. The people who buy in first, namely those that started the coin, secondarily the creator promoting it, they get all of the profit. They bought in at the ground floor. There is no way to not make profit at any selling point at that point, unless it drops down to starter level or below. And so what they do is they wait until things slow down or it's looking like it's reaching the peak, and they sell. The starters of the crypto and the content creator or figure that's promoting it. They make a big payday. The coin immediately loses a massive chunk of its value because a lot of the value of that coin was held by those that got in on the ground floor and bought a shitload of it for cheap. They sell for a massive profit. The coin unrecoverably loses value, forcing people to panic sell and thus drop the value even more. And all those fans who decided to buy the coin and pump its value just to get it high enough for those ground floor scammers to sell lose everything. Because as Andrew Tate himself said, for a few people or one person to win big at crypto, a lot of people have to lose. So, with that in mind, you might be surprised to find out that's not even the form of crypto scam that Trump is performing right now. It's similar, but, well, I'm not even going to bother explaining it. I'm going to allow someone who's far better, far more experienced and skilled at it do the explaining for me. And that's CoffeeZilla, who has decided to make a video going after Trump's crypto scam. And I've only seen a bit of this. I have not really watched the whole of it, so I'm excited to see all the details. But I have looked into the story itself, and it is genuinely shameless. I don't even know if I want to spoil it, but... all right. Here's what I will give you as a hint. Trump's crypto coin doesn't even have a way for those that buy it to sell it and make money back. It is purely a purchase-only thing. A purchase to own the Trump coin. It's insane, dude. It's genuinely insane. It's basically just a donation with a fake prize in exchange, a fake currency that isn't even a real cryptocurrency that you supposedly get in exchange. It's a level of scamming that genuinely shouldn't surprise me that Trump is willing to stoop down to. But what I will say is, and this is some really good news, once again, more content creators, big content creators who are very much not even wanting to get involved with politics, might even lean a little bit right on some things, finding themselves basically forced to talk about how ridiculous and insane prominent conservative figures are. In this case, the fucking Republican nominee scamming his followers with a crypto scam. You can't ignore it anymore. Andrew Tate, the people, the Chud grifters attacking Sonic, attacking popular YouTubers. Like, I'm telling you guys, we are in the beginning stages of the fall of this current era of right-wing cultural dominance online. It is so tangible at this point that these people are losing it, that there is more negative will towards the right than there has been in a while, because these people have been telling on themselves a lot lately. I'm telling you, man. The right is burning itself out. At least online, it is right now. It's about to go back into another sort of hibernation era, it feels like. We'll see, though. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this is just a little bump in the road for them.
We're talking about Donald Trump coin, a.k.a. World Liberty Financial. It's a disaster. They've sold 4% of the tokens.
This is the name of the coin.
After days and days of trying to sell them. Look, I didn't want to do this story. I said, look, we don't do politics on CoffeeZilla, which is true. And we never will. But the scam is good on this one, guys.
See, doesn't do politics, never will, but hey, doesn't change the fact that the Republican nominee is doing a crypto scam. Still got to talk about it. This isn't even a politically oriented video. It's just a video about how Trump is endorsing a crypto scam and is scamming his followers. Same deal as like calling out Andrew Tate, not because he's a misogynist, but because he's a scammer. And I know it's kind of cringe, like you're not going to call out the obvious, like you're not willing to get political. But yeah, it's a lot of content creators. Like this is why the left generally suffers, is for a long time the right has been very accepting of this mindset. Oh yeah, you don't want to talk politics? All good, but hey, did you know that the left wants to force you to talk politics? And it really doesn't help that people like get kind of cringed out when someone says they don't want to talk politics and kind of proves the right correct on that point. Makes people who just don't want to get involved with this stuff side with the right just because it looks like that's the only way to stay out of it. And it's something the right has benefited from for a long time. So don't be so quick to shit on CoffeeZilla when he is literally making a video exposing Trump for scamming his followers. Okay, just because he's not doing it for the right reasons, I guess. Like, come on.
And it's so interesting that I had to talk about it while saying and caveating that this has nothing to do with politics. I don't care what you do. Everybody grifts. It's an equal opportunity thing. So just, relax on that front. I don't want to see political comments. We could start at the announcement of World Liberty Financial Coin. That's where I was going.
Remember, guys, there's nothing political about a presidential candidate scamming his followers for every dime he can wring out of them. Nothing political at all.
On a start, but then I realized really to understand this whole thing, you have to go back to 2021. You have to go back to when Trump first talked about Bitcoin. And it's pretty interesting because now he's 100% behind crypto. He's going to, be the crypto first guy. But here's what he said back then.
Bitcoin, it just seems like a scam.
Oh, it was tough for the crypto bros, but they quickly forgave him.
Once again, conservative millionaires and billionaires accidentally admitting they understand the world in general when it, like, in private and when their money and their finances are on the line. But when it comes to the culture war, they pretend like they don't know these things.
When Trump started entering the world of crypto with a lot of NFT drops, he's been doing this kind of nonstop. He's done multiple. Now he launched the official Trump digital trading cards, where if you get enough of them, you can have dinner with him.
Like, it's actually wild to me that we're in a situation where there's a real chance that a crypto and NFT scammer, rapist, or I should say sexual assaulter, as decided by the court. He can't even sue me for saying that. Or at least if he did, I'd still win. And alleged pedophile might end up being the next president again, like reelected into the position. A NFT crypto scamming, sexual assaulting, alleged pedophile, and friend of Jeffrey Epstein.
And get sneakers. You get 2 gold sneakers if you buy 9 digital trading cards for only $1,000 or $900. Now, that's probably where a lot of people's education on the Trump crypto wagon ends, but it's worth stating that his family has also engaged in a lot of crypto stuff. I only mention that because multiple of the family members are listed.
Dude, Trump's family is like, God, they're like wealthy white trash is really the only way to put it. I don't know if like the term white trash is considered racist or whatever. I assume it's considered racist against white people, and I don't care if they get offended at me. I'm one of them. But yeah, like they're like rich white trash is really the best way to put it, Like there's no like class or shame or anything, but they fake it because they've got so much wealth. But like their personality and behaviors are like they fit in more in a trailer park than in like the high skyscrapers of New York City.
Listed on this project. So, for example, Barron Trump was allegedly involved in DJT. This coin has since rug pulled, unfortunately.
No. White trash is not a race and class thing. White trash is a mindset, my friend. Trust me, Wingo. You're from Florida, you know. White trash isn't about your class. It's not about even about your race, really. It's white trash is a mindset. It's an idea.
Fortunately, for about $4 to $5 million, depending on your source. There are some insiders in the coin who are very upset that told me that. I myself traced about $3 million, so that number seems about right to me. So that's bad. That's bad to be associated with that coin. But then you've also got Donald Trump Jr., who was involved in Restore the Republic.
Of course.
That coin immediately dumped because basically there was a tweet like, oh, you don't know what the real Trump coin is. That's not the real Trump coin. I don't know exactly what happened here, but basically it sounds like they got involved and then backed up at the last second. Pump and dump allegations were made of a few $1 million in that coin too. So basically it's been disaster after disaster after NFT drop.
And conveniently, the Trump family just keeps making money off of it. Must just be a lot of convenient accidents for them, though, you know? Must just be accidents. Can't get too biased or political with it. It must just be accidents, guys.
Leading up to World Liberty Financial, but this has been the promise of the new great thing that was going to be like the Donald Trump coin. Here we go. Here's the pitch.
Big news. The World Liberty Financial token sale is now live. Crypto is the future. Let's embrace this incredible technology and lead the world in digital economy.
Okay.
You know what's so wild about that? Because he's reading from a teleprompter. Trump, there's two different types of Trump. There's like Trump reading a script and there's Trump just talking off cuff. And man, Trump talking off cuff is noticeable, recognizable. The Trump that you know and love, the Trump you think of when you think of Trump talking. But Trump reading from a teleprompter or a script is like, it feels like an AI video. There's no way that is an AI. Exactly, that's what I said. It like feels like an AI video, but this is real. Like Trump has endorsed this World Liberty Financial coin. That's not even an actual crypto you can trade to sell or use as a currency. It's actually literally just a fake. It's effectively a fake crypto being used as a front to solicit donations for the Trump campaign. That's effectively what this is.
Let's embrace it. Let's see what they got. So you go to their web.
Oh, and in case you're curious, Elon Musk has been running a daily $1 million giveaway that he has fulfilled. There has been random Republicans selected at rallies in swing states where if you're a Republican in a swing state and you can prove that you registered to vote Republican, then every day, one of the people who does that gets $1 million. Elon Musk is literally daily, up until the election, bribing $1 million a day to a random person who registers Republican and just basically all but gives proof they voted for Trump. So far, there's been like 4 or 5 Trump supporters that have won $1 million from Elon. They like receive the check on stage and everything. Like the Republicans are literally, I will pay you if you vote for me. Please vote for me. That is how far they have stooped.
Website, and they ask you, are you a U.S. citizen or not? You click yes or no, and then they have you buying tokens at a set price.
That cannot be legal. A lot of experts are coming out to say it's not. The Republicans are arguing tooth and nail that it is, but trust me, there will not be any legal consequences to catch up with him anytime close enough to the election for it to matter, nor will it be severe enough consequences for it to matter after the election. And if it is, if Trump wins, then Trump will pardon Elon like day one.
This is very strange, very unusual, and to set your own price like this. And it's, I think, because they're grifting, bro.
And then after pardoning him, hire him, as he's promised. Because remember, if Trump wins, Elon's getting hired into a government position in his administration. So Elon's going to be a high-ranking position in government if Trump wins as well. So it's not just going to be Trump wins, but Elon also wins his election, basically, too. That he's not going to be elected into. Oh, no? Oh, you guys haven't been watching my videos, huh? Oh, yeah. Trump is promising Elon position in his administration. So if Trump wins, we get Elon running the country, too.
They set their initial price for what they're trying to sell. They're trying to sell $300 million of these tokens off rip. We know that because they have 20 billion coins all selling for $0.015 each, okay? Now, very few projects ever even reach a valuation of $300 million. So you might be surprised. You might think, well, maybe if their tech's amazing. Like,
this might also be Trump attempting to commit fraud, by the way. If Trump can get a few hundred people to buy his coin at a set price, and he owns a bunch of it, then he can generally find an agreement that the coin is worth that much, like every single like unit of that coin is worth the amount that people have been willing to pay for it because he set that price for it, and then he can sell it at that price. And this is fraud, by the way. Like, this is through and through 100% fraud. But he would be able to sell it at that essentially market-manipulated price. And actually, it might not be fraud because it's crypto. The only reason this might not be fraud is because it's crypto. For a fact, this is fraud if you do it with shares of a company. But with crypto, it may be legal in the same way where Elon market manipulates the crypto market with shitcoins that he's invested in, which is illegal if you do the exact same thing one-to-one, but it's shares instead of coins, crypto coins. It might just be not fraud because it's crypto and not regulated yet. He's going to take you guys out of the USD and the Trump coin and give us the Trump coin as the national currency. Yeah, that would be a fucking nightmare, but no, I think his goal here is to commit fraud by forcing people to agree to pay a ridiculous price for each unit of the coin, to have financial I forget, what is the role? It's not a financial advisor. There's a specific person with the role of deeming assets of a certain value and thus agreeing to sign off on the stated value of the total worth of what assets you have, in this case being Trump's ownership of however much of his coin. If he can prove to that advisor, yeah, people, this is how much the coin is worth, they'll sign off on it, and he could scam someone into buying his crypto coin, the amount that he has, for that amount per unit, per coin. And an appraiser might be the term, I'm not sure. And that's massively fraud if you do it with a company. Don't know if they do it with crypto though. So I don't know if that's what CoffeeZilla thinks Trump is doing, but I think that's what Trump is doing as well. Obviously Trump's going to make money up front off of this and already has, but I think a lot of this is Trump planning to fake set a value for the coin that isn't real, you know?
But for a brand new company to be raising at that price just kind of doesn't make sense. But then you realize it gets even worse when you go to their white paper, which they call the gold paper, of course, where they say that they're only selling 35% of the total token supply. So what that means is that it's not actually that they're raising at $300 million. They're actually raising it closer to $1 billion valuation from the start on an unknown project with nobody.
I might be fully fucking right. I think Trump is doing exactly what I said. I think I'm completely right, guys. It's only 30% of the entire amount of the coin that exists that's being sold. They're just selling as much as they can to prove that it's supposedly worth this much. So Trump, with the other 70% of the coin, and those that started the coin as well with the other 70% of the coin, can sell it at an inflated value. Mind you, reminder, this is blatant, immediately you're cuffed fraud if you do this with shares, stock shares in a company. Immediately. Yeah.
What does this project do? Nobody knows. And so immediately, that's one reason that...
How can there be a limited amount of crypto? This is so confusing. When you make your crypto coin, you set a total cap on the amount of units there can be. So Bitcoin, for example, the second Bitcoin started being a thing, there was a set amount of Bitcoin that could ever exist. And the more time that passes, because so many of the total amount of possible Bitcoins have been mined, mining Bitcoins gets harder and harder and harder every day, because that final Bitcoin might even take as much as the last 99.9% of Bitcoins, every other Bitcoin before took to mine. And it might take the effort of thousands of people collectively mining fractions of that Bitcoin. So there was a time when it first was a thing when mining a crypto, when it was very, very new, was easier. You could mine a coin a day at one point, I'm sure. And over time, it got to be arguably more expensive to run the power to keep a Bitcoin mining rig going than to mine Bitcoin and make profit. You couldn't make profit anymore. And that's why people don't really mine Bitcoin anymore. But yeah, that's how that works. There's a set cap, and it gets harder to produce more of it for like ownership in a wallet so that it can be traded or sold, the closer to that cap people get in unlocking the amount that exists. Probably not the best explanation, but hopefully that made that cap thing make sense.
They didn't sell almost any coins. Well, relative to their actual raise. They've so far sold about $13 million of these coins, which, yeah, is something. But compared to what they're trying to raise is nothing. And for a Donald Trump, like, this is the coin thing, it's definitely disappointing, I would think, for them.
How does crypto mining work? In modern day, you dedicate the core of your GPU to running a bunch of nonstop complex calculations, which are what the bits of the crypto, like crypto coins are literally just a string of data, just an encrypted string of data. And you get pieces of that encrypted string of data. The more processing power from your PC, you volunteer to mine the coin. I believe that Bitcoin mining is actually like your computer is doing work, like for someone. Like it's not just doing it for the sake of doing it. I think there's like a purpose to what it is doing, but as it does it, in return, you get coins. I've never mined any like crypto coins, so I don't fully understand it, but that's the general gist of it. And it's very bad for the environment.
But then you have by far the biggest problem with this whole coin. All the tokens that you're going to buy are non-transferable and locked indefinitely in a wallet or smart contract, which is insane. There's almost no token like this that you can buy. All tokens are transferable. And it's not even, what is it if it's not transferable? It just means you can't even sell it. Like,
it's a front. It's either or both of these two things. A way for Trump to commit fraud in the way I described before, or it is essentially a front to convince people to donate to Trump's campaign and think they're getting something in return. Something that presumably is also fraud.
Well, what does that even mean? It's non-transferable. So I guess they probably did that for SEC reasons. They don't want any SEC problems. But at that point, you're not really selling tokens. Like, you're not selling a crypto as most people understand crypto. It's almost like you're selling, I don't even know. Even nothing. You can sell NFTs. This is so weird. When I saw this, I was like, what? And then you go to the actual thing. You go to their team, and you find out that Donald Trump is not even the main guy. Like, this is not, for all the talk about it being his project,
there's got to be some layers of separation.
They are the ambassadors, which, obviously is just a way to pull away your liability.
It's the exact same thing as endorsement from a content creator, by the way. With that, like when, say, for example, Boogie2988 was offered to shill the fatty coin, shitcoin, the crypto scam that he scammed his audience with, that he was an ambassador of the coin. It basically means that, like, you're not behind its existence, but you are associated with, an endorser of, and profiting from its existence. And almost certainly, from the start, they've had a base level payout of the crypto so that they could eventually sell it to someone. I don't even know what their plan is to sell it. I guess Trump would sell it privately to try to make his massive profit after people agree to buy it at that set price.
Right? I'm not actually the project itself. They say they're just ambassadors, and if you read the fine print, they have an endorsement deal with World Liberty Financial, and part of that endorsement deal is like a 5-year deal where they have to promote it, and if they promote it, they get 75% of all the profits that this whole thing makes. So they make all the profits, basically, like most of the profits, but then they actually don't, they don't have a lot of the liability, which, I get why they did that, but if I'm someone looking at this, I'm thinking, oh, no.
Oh, more than a few Hollywood personalities have absolutely been doing these crypto scams as well. It's become a big thing in the realm of music as well. Some pretty beloved music artists, if you might not even know about it if you just listen to their music and don't follow them, but some pretty beloved music artists have gotten into scamming their fans with crypto and NFTs. There's this big trend where people were actually more vigilant about it. Like, oh, no, this band is getting into NFTs. No, I love this music artist. Oh, man. Well, now I'm having that moment. Apparently, Snoop Dogg got into crypto and NFTs. Dude. Yeah, man. It seems like that, boomer Gen X range of celebrities jumped on crypto fast, bro. Like, immediately.
Oh, like, your token's not transferable, raised at, like, over $1 billion or around $1 billion valuation, which is insane. Then you've got a project where the guy can just back out after 5 years and is not really even like the guy behind this whole thing. So then you go, well, who is behind this? And so you got to look at their founders. So their founders are a lot of, people I don't recognize on here personally for being crypto people, except for this guy, Chase Hero. Now, if that name is familiar to you, it's because
not to me.
He has been featured on CoffeeZilla before.
Yo, Ben.
Okay.
We need some more of these Kobe's.
Please, bro.
No shot. One of the people involved in Trump's crypto scam is also the dude that helps Jake Paul and Logan Paul do their crypto scams. I mean, it makes sense because Logan and Jake Paul are Trump supporters, and I think they've met Trump and, like, shook his hand and stuff. Jesus Christ, dude. I'm telling you, the douchiest, massivest pieces of shit on all of the internet all know each other. Both, like, IRL and on the internet. The worst people you know, they're all buddies. They have, like, a cabal of shithead, wealthy assholes whose entire business model is making people worse and encouraging people to give them money for being awful. That's the real cabal behind the scenes, yeah.
Please, EOD.
Not Jews, just douchebags, rich douchebags.
If possible.
Yep.
Because we have an episode going tomorrow where we talk very highly of Omi, and I wouldn't be surprised if that caused some traction.
Not exactly a great look. Now, besides doing that, Chase Hero, I have come to learn from a fantastic Bloomberg feature article, that Chase was also involved with Doe Finance, which got hacked for about $2 million. But probably the best thing you can learn about Chase Hero is kind of what he says himself about marketing, because it'll give you a good idea of what this project is kind of all about.
And you can literally sell shit in a can, wrapped in piss, covered in human skin for $1 billion if the story's right.
Wait, what? Did he just describe?
He just explained his entire business in a sentence. That's crazy.
World Liberty Financial? Because that's what this is. It's just using a narrative to try to sell something for $1 billion that is garbage. So this is the guy that's behind the Donald Trump coin. I mean, the actual, like, co-founder, one of the co-founders, that's what he says.
Oh, Logan interviewed Trump on his podcast. That's what I was remembering. Yeah, that's why I have this, like, mental picture of them sitting together. Yeah, they're like buddies, basically.
There's a lot of other people involved. But anytime you have a guy like that in your project, it's trouble, at least in my opinion. So when you go down, you kind of figure out how they're structuring some of this stuff. You have DT Marks DeFi LLC, which sounds basically like the Donald Trump team. And they're going to provide services to World Liberty Financial. In exchange, they're going to get 22 billion World Liberty Financial tokens at a right to receive 75% of the net protocol revenues. So they're basically getting the lion's share of the deal for, endorsing this whole thing.
Wait, no. I am literally completely right about what this is. This is just crypto fraud. He's literally doing what I just described. Trump is holding 70-something% or getting a cut of that 70-something% of the crypto. They are basically only offering the crypto with no ability to trade it so that the price can't fluctuate. They're only allowing purchases. It's locked in at a set price. So it's forced to rise up to that price because so many people will agree to pay it. Trump can get it appraised at that amount, can sell it privately after 5 years when he's paid out his, we'll assume 40% of the crypto. It goes from being worth nothing to being worth whatever bullshit it's worth per coin, $1.10 or something. And he makes a massive payout, possibly billions, because the cap they put on this crypto, the amount in total coins that there are. He could actually pull out of this with this fraud. He could make billions off of this fraud. I legitimately think that's what he's doing. Mind you, you'd be in jail within a month if you tried to do this, with a company. If you tried to start your own company, set it at 10 billion trillion shares, force people, go around and get, your friends to pay, $5 or $10 per share, and then, try and sell your trillion billion shares for $10 each. You could try to do that, but even trying to sell it for that much, even though it would technically be right, it's fraud. The government would know what you're doing. You'd be investigated. You would be tried and probably go to prison for fraud. Frogan's been banned? Holy shit.
You have to ask, though, if these tokens are non-transferable, why give them so many tokens? And doesn't that defeat the
That's why wait, does CoffeeZilla not know about this method of fraud? It's very straightforward. It's extremely straightforward. Look, dude, get me in contact with CoffeeZilla. I can let him know exactly what the plan is here, because that's what the fuck he is doing. That's why 70% of the coins aren't available for sale. No trading is allowed, so the price can't fluctuate. They are setting the price artificially so that in 5 years, Trump can get paid out a bunch of the coins, sell it privately, and make a massive payout. It's fraud. It's just crypto, so our laws haven't caught up yet.
Purpose of this DAO? I mean, actually, to be clear, this thing is explicitly not a DAO, but it's supposedly decentralized, meaning like nobody controls it. But they kind of do. You've got the majority of the supply with insiders, or at least a large chunk of it.
It's just a
which
loophole.
means that you will be able to shape the vote. If this token is just about governance of a protocol,
it's a loophole so the SEC doesn't shut them down before the election has even happened.
Whoa. You control it from the start. So it's not really decentralized at all. So now it's not transferable. It's not decentralized. It's overpriced. And it's got people, and I'm talking about all the people we've talked about so far, who have been involved in projects which have been rug pulled, hacked, pump and dumped. It's like the list is terrible. Okay? And that's all before we get to what this project even does. As I said, this is a governance token for a protocol. But what is that protocol? Well, come to find out,
what that means.
It's decentralized lending and borrowing, something that has been around forever in crypto. There are established, actually decentralized protocols that do it. And when you read closer, it basically looks like they're going to take the tech stack that exists and just copy it. Because World Liberty Financial, this is a proposal on something called Aave, which is the decentralized lending protocol, and they're trying to deploy a World Liberty Financial Aave instance focused on providing stablecoin liquidity for ETH and wrapped Bitcoin and growing the Aave protocol user base. So World Liberty Financial, their big thing, this is what they're pricing at $1 billion, trying to raise $300 million. What they're saying is, we're going to bring a few customers to an existing tech that has always like been around and doesn't.
That's definitely not what their end game is. Obviously, they want to get their own like crypto network more attention, but it's a crypto scam at the end of the day. It's not going to get positive attention. Guarantee you, through and through, 5 years from now, Trump ends up making billions out of nowhere, and we're all like, how the fuck did Trump become like $3 billion richer? What the fuck happened? And this is why. Guarantee you, this is why.
Need help. And make it worse. Like, make it less decentralized. Make it, not be able to sell your tokens. I mean, it is absolutely insane. And look, you might be right to say, like, hey, this just sounds like a complicated way to just accept a lot of donations. Because they did take in $13 million. And I would agree with you, but there's kind of this weird thing. So this is the weird one. In the paragraph 15, look, I don't mean to be that guy, but paragraph 15 says, after payment of pre-launch development and transaction expenses, $30 million of World Liberty Financial Protocol revenues, including token sale proceeds, is expected to be reserved for pay for future World Liberty Financial Protocol operating and other expenses for contingent obligations.
Those are the coins. That's Trump's payout right there. That's Trump's base payout. Not even counting what he's going to make off of selling all those coins in 5 years. Jesus Christ.
So
that's just taking the money that's being given to them for the coin, by the way.
Mark, $30 million.
That's not even the big payout. That's not even that's just like the appetizer before the big like main course of scammed money from Trump's followers.
Out the gate. So as like a donation theory thing, that kind of shoots that, because it sounds like none of that money is going to go directly to Trump. It's actually going to be set aside for this protocol, if you believe that, that to develop the protocol, which is kind of a fork of a thing. It's fishy for sure. But that's what I'm saying. I was just like, it doesn't even make sense from that angle. This is such a disaster through and through that I have noticed recently that this little banner popped up. I hadn't seen that the first time I joined the site. I mean, maybe it was always there. I don't know. It says inspired by Donald Trump, which sounds like the kind of thing you put on something when you're trying to distance yourself from it. You're like, oh, this is my project. And then, when it like kind of starts flopping, you go, well, it was inspired by me. It's important that those guys really, took inspiration from my leader.
Listen, guys, when someone is involved with something completely clean, not shady at all, with absolutely no legal ramifications associated with it, it is very common for prominent people involved to disassociate themselves as much as possible and build as many layers of separation between them and it as they can. Super normal and not suspicious at all.
Leadership. So it looks like they're probably going to slowly start distancing themselves from that project.
Yeah.
I'm sure we won't hear a lot more about it now that there's been such a lukewarm response, and understandably so. It's actually refreshing to see how few people, 14 million, but few people relative to the actual pre-sale bought this thing because
14 million dumb fucks bought this coin. I need you to understand, when I say, like, NPCs are real and they're Trump supporters, with their canned dialogue, their, like, literal game NPC predictable behavior and actions, it's like, is there even a sentient human brain? Is there a soul inside of these people that they see Trump coin and they're like, buy? It, like, in the number of 14 million. Jesus Christ. I'm telling you guys, NPCs are real, and ironically, it's the right that seem to be the NPCs, considering they're the ones that basically invented that as an insult. It's literally a description of themselves. They flocked to buy Trump's scam crypto coin that they can't even trade or sell to make a profit off of. Spectacular, dude. I don't even feel bad for them because they're Trump supporters and, they fell for his scam again. That's what they do when they support him. So I'm not really surprised, nor do I feel bad for them. It's just like, really? And those people are still going to vote for him. They'll never admit they got punked. They're too proud to admit that Trump punked them.
If this thing had sold out, I would have been depressed for a year, I think. So, yeah. That's basically it. That's the rundown on World Liberty Financial. If you want to know more about Chase Hero specifically, Bloomberg did do a great deep dive into him. You can find that here at this article. In fact, you'll even see that we made an appearance in the story. And yeah, that's basically it. Today we're talking about Donald Trump coin, aka.
Anyway, that is the CoffeeZilla video. Really good takedown of the situation. A pretty centrist one, but I actually think that's more valuable than even a takedown from me because, I occasionally reach a conservative or centrist audience, especially lately. I've gotten a lot of comments from people who say they're conservative and watch my content, even if they don't agree with everything I have to say, because I call out, like, the anti-woke grifters, and even right-wing viewers are starting to notice it and get annoyed by it. Regardless, though, my audience in relation to normies isn't all that wide. I don't have as much normie appeal as someone like CoffeeZilla does. I don't have as much normie appeal as someone like Actman does. People who are actively being pulled, arguably against their own will, into calling out and fighting with these large, prominent conservative figures because they've gotten so comfortable with grifting that they're not hiding it anymore. They're bragging about it. And content creators who, even if they don't want to get involved in politics, but their job is still to call out assholes exploiting people on the platform, they're being put into positions where they've got to do it. Sometimes they're even the ones getting called out and they have to respond and defend themselves from insane allegations of wokeness. I'm telling you guys. I'm telling you. We are entering an age of right-wing culture war shit falling the fuck off. It's cannibalizing itself. Anyway, guys, with that said, if you enjoyed this segment, you found it enjoyable, educational, or even entertaining, then please consider leaving a like. It's totally free, and every single thumbs up pushes my content in the algorithm out to more new viewers to help boost it out to new content stuff. It just basically raises my sub counts and helps everything across the board, so I really do appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. You can also subscribe and ring the bell icon to turn on all notifications so that YouTube actually tells you when I go live or upload a new video, because if you don't, they won't. And you can follow my social medias, linked down below in the description of the stream, to see more stuff from me on other platforms as well, including joining my fan Discord, linked down below too. It is the main hub of my community and fan base. It's totally free to join, and I host game events, call-in streams, and watch parties there every week. And on top of that, I announce all my new uploads and streams there, so at least if YouTube bugs out, you'll know the Discord will still work. Finally, if you want to support me directly, help me keep the lights on and a roof above my head here at the Xander Hall studio, then consider donating, subscribing, or gifting a sub on my website, xanderhall.com/live, or supporting me through YouTube, Twitch, Streamlabs, Stream Elements, Patreon, or buying merch to the Streamlabs link down below. But regardless of how you support me, even if you're a lurker and you're just chilling out watching the stream, thank you so much, and I hope to see you again. How do you guys like that segment? I feel like it came out really good. The Hassan waiting room gang got banned. Yeah, you guys have been talking about that. I guarantee you, no more than a week. I can't even see how long the bans are yet. No more than a week. Guarantee it, though. Streamer bans doesn't say. Capri Sun Poppy has been banned. Frogan has been banned. Denims has been banned. Vio has been banned. I don't even know who this is. Jesus Christ, there's like new Hassan orbiters by the day. Couldn't be more deserved. Haha, they banned a terrorist. Ha 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 ha. W Twitch, thank God, taking out the trash. Community note about to go crazy. W Twitch, oh Jesus Christ, fuck this asshole. Dude, why? I hate it whenever there are valid reasons to hate. Okay. This is like a genuine pet peeve of mine, and it's not even because I'm particularly annoyed by fat phobia. I just find it cringe. Like even outside of that, my least favorite thing, like one of my biggest pet peeves, is when I hate somebody, and I meet someone, and they likewise hate that person I hate. But then when they start going on about why they hate that person, it's a bunch of either untrue or deranged bullshit. And you're like, whoa, hold on. Well, I hate this person. I'm not here to defend them. But, like, why are you going on about all this crazy shit? Like, I hate this person for real reasons. Like, you going off on some, like, fantasy here and like, making up bullshit to dislike this person, frankly, makes it look like I'm as insane as you. I don't want any association with you. Like, why are you doing this? It's one of my biggest pet peeves fucking ever. I hate it. I cannot stand it when someone who also hates the same person as me has dumb fuck reasons for hating that person. It genuinely pisses me off so much. My dad does that, bro. I'll say something is bad, and he'll start insulting everything else, like Lamau. Yeah, and it just feels like, okay, well, that's out of pocket, right? Regardless, though, still deserve bans.
But there's no, what's crazy?
I'm sorry, but the side-to-side of Ethan Klein and Hassan Piker's streams today is kind of funny, not gonna lie. I had never heard of docking. I wouldn't imagine the only people that have are people who have tried it or want to try it. Deep, thoughtful conversations. He is not well. Hassan has never said anything pro-Russian. Wait, Hassan has never said anything pro-Russian. Hold on.
Hi.
Mind you, because of his creation of this video, Dylan Burns was later referred to by Hassan as a war tourist pervert, I believe was the term. I believe the term, or no, maybe it was pervert war tourists. That was the term. That was how Hassan referred to Dylan Burns for making this video called "Ukrainians Respond to Hassan Nabi." Because Dylan Burns is in Ukraine, Hassan has done a lot of anti-Ukraine, pro-Russia talking points, and so he brought some Ukrainians on to specifically respond to some points that Hassan has made, and has since buried, by the way, which is why he refuses to respond to this video, because Hassan doesn't want his fans to remember the points he made that they debunk and respond to in this video. That's why his response to Dylan is just to call him a war tourist pervert, which itself is just playing into Russian propaganda, mind you. All Dylan is doing is like documenting war crimes committed by Russia and also volunteering to help like pets and people that are like hurt and trapped by the invasion. You know, he's actually like saved living things from the like volunteering and unarmed, like just volunteering in a battle zone too, not just journalism shit. But yeah, he's totally just a war tourist pervert, as Hassan said. What a piece of shit. Anyway, Dylan's based. I'll show a little bit of this. Oh yeah, and Dylan got shelled by the Russians twice. At least twice. It might have happened again since last I spoke to him. He's been shelled twice by the Russians.
Dylan Burns, and I just got back from Eastern Ukraine. I was out there filming with artillery crews supporting the Zaporozhye counteroffensive, as well as a separate artillery crew defending the Donetsk region from Russian advances. I got a lot of incredible footage, including them working, them receiving counter-battery fire, talking to them about their personal lives, why they do what they do, living in a dugout 24/7, as well as a whole host of other topics. I'm really excited to share that footage with you guys, but that's not today.
Oh, really? Popcorn
Today,
is life.
we need
Nice.
to talk about a different topic, and that's inclusion. Specifically, including Ukrainians in conversations about their own country. Anytime I turn on cable news, anytime I turn on the radio, anytime I open up a newspaper, I see conversations happening everywhere about Ukraine. But Ukrainians are not often included in those conversations. And that's not just true of cable news, that's also true of alternative media sources as well. I'm talking Twitch and YouTube. And on Twitch, there's one king in political conversation, and that's Hasanabi. And he's talked quite a lot about the war in Ukraine. But I have not seen many conversations with him talking to Ukrainians on his platform. So I thought, due to the fact that many of his conversations had not included Ukrainian perspectives, maybe it could benefit from a Ukrainian perspective. So we gathered 4 people of varying political backgrounds from all across Ukraine, including one former Hasanabi fan, to talk about what Hassan has said about the war, and to include them in the conversation. Now, this isn't a...
Yeah, mind you, these Ukrainians are ex-Hassan fans. They were super lefties that were super into Hassan. Then all of a sudden, their country got invaded, and all of a sudden Hassan is, like, making excuses for the invasion and justifying the war crimes that's being committed on their people. And it's like, why is the streamer I like making excuses for Russians, like, rolling over cars with families in them with tanks in my country? So yeah, that is how it got to this point. We're not talking about some like conservative or like normie centrist leaning Ukrainians who might just by default dislike Hassan. Some of them are literally ex-Hassan fans, and the reason they're ex-Hassan fans is Hassan said this shit about the country they live in that is being invaded, where their lives are threatened, and Hassan doesn't fucking care.
Total list of every...
Legitimately, imagine being a fan of a content creator, and you watch them, and they're like, yeah, no, you getting, like, invaded, that's completely justified. Annexing your land, it's completely justified. Like, dude, flip this around. Imagine, like, if I had, like, a Palestine... Imagine I was a Zionist content creator, and I was in favor of, like, Israeli settlement building or expansion, and I had, like, Palestinian viewers who somehow were still watching me through all this, and they're in, like, West Bank, Gaza, etc., and they're even in Israel, and they're like, bro, what the fuck? Like, bro, I watch your content and you're in favor of me getting bombed? Like, dude, that is the situation that these Ukrainian, content, not even content creators, some of them are, but these Ukrainians are in. Just imagine that. How fucked that would be. Like 2 weeks ago, Dylan had to duck and cover because of drone attacks and then went back to streaming like nothing happened. Oh, okay, so it's been at least 3 survived bombings from the Russians by Dylan now. So at least 3. I'm aware of 2, just became aware of a 3rd via drones. So it could have been way more at this point. Thank God he's still alive. Jesus Christ. Listen, man, Dylan's a brave motherfucker. Shout out to Dylan.
Everything Hassan has ever said that they reacted to. We picked what clips that they saw based upon what moments could best benefit from a Ukrainian perspective. And so if we didn't include your most favorite Hasanabi moment, we're very sorry. I wanted to include, for example, when Hassan talked about right sector snipers killing Euromaidan protesters, but we only could keep them for 2 hours, and I didn't want to have them there for 5 hours answering every single clip that Hassan has ever said about the war. So just understand that we could only do so much for practicality's sake and out of respect for the people that we brought to react to. I hope in the future when we talk about countries, we include
you're gonna see some overt Hassan defending Russia stuff here, but a lot of Hassan's like Russia defense has actually just been repeating Russian state media talking points. He won't outright state like Russia is good, at least not anymore. There are some clips of him doing it, and you're going to see him here. But more often than not, the reason why you can immediately tell he's still like pro-Russia is he repeats all their talking points. He does everything in his power to convince, even if it's slyly, that Ukraine is as unjustified in defending themselves as possible, as much as he can suggest.
From those countries in the conversation more, whether it be Ukraine, Taiwan, Vietnam, Korea, Mexico, Canada, Iraq, or wherever it is. Let's include the people who actually have to live there in conversations on how that country should be treated and what the future of that country will be.
Oh, Hassan is also in favor of China's treatment of Taiwan, Hong Kong, and Tibet, in case you guys didn't know. In the case of Tibet, Hassan has outright defended it by saying that the Tibetans had a backwards culture. That was like conservative. I'm not joking. Outright defended colonialism by China in Tibet because, as he claims, the Tibetans had a backwards, conservative, regressive culture that China was going to reform by effectively conquering them. Literally the same shit he criticizes from America. Because remember, imperialism, it's all good as long as it's not America. Gets that Hassan community approval the second it's not America.
Thank you very much for the video.
So let's start by going around the room and everybody introducing themselves. Let's start from the left-hand corner of the room over here.
No, I'm Anna, Anastasia. I'm Ukrainian Anna on Twitter. I'm a volunteer. I live in Kharkiv and work mostly in Kharkiv. I also work with Dylan here.
That was the last of my monster.
Do interviews, subtitles, things like that. Work with journalists, go to the front lines, things like that. So yeah, that's me.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so I'm Rick the Ukrainian. I stream on YouTube. I also dub the interviews with Russian prisoners of war made by Zolkin and Karpenko. All rights belong to them. And also I am initially from Kyiv.
Actually, I want to skip ahead to the clips with the shit with Hassan, since that's like the relevant stuff that I brought this up for. All right.
He gets quite a lot of viewers, both on YouTube and on Twitch. I don't know if it's true of every single online political commentator, but he is often referred to as the most popular political streamer, period. So the most popular political streamer. So that's why I wanted to bring you guys around today to see the type of commentary that we're getting from this person and to react to it. Okay, so here's a picture of him. You guys have been looking at it for long enough. So let's move on to the first clip.
This is a side tangent.
So Hasanabi, leading up into the war, we're talking about mid-February, he started increasing the amount he was talking about the war in Ukraine. Before then, he didn't really talk about it much, if ever. But as the war became closer, he started to talk about predictions from the American government that the Russians would invade. And I wanted to show you guys a few highlights of that to show you when the first critiques from some Ukrainians came forward for Hassan. Now, I don't want to focus on this for too long because this is somewhat old news, obviously. But I felt like if I didn't include this, I'd be leaving out some vital context of the history of his commentary on the war.
What's up, folks? I'm live and alive, and we got a lot to talk about. I was right about Ukraine. That's right. War is not imminent. Oh, shocked to find out. Anyway, we're going to talk about that and a bunch of other stuff, so get in now. Possibly a new React series as well, so you don't want to
more
miss
reactions.
I think maybe I'll tell my editors to do this, but I think I'll just change I'll change this every day to Ukraine has still not been invaded by Russia every day to make sure that the wishes of these fucking weirdo I'm actually a sock them and you're a fucking tanky idiots on the internet. Will, yeah, change it to Russia still has yet to invade Ukraine. And it's like day 11 at this point, you know what I mean? Time again that I don't think there is war that is going to happen because it would fucking destroy Russia. And I still believe—
Yeah, Hassan was saying this while tanks and blood bags were being transported to the border of Ukraine and Russia. As I play through these clips, you're going to watch as Hassan goes from denying the invasion is coming to justifying it, to soft justifying it, to softer justifying it, to softer justifying it, to avoiding the topic as much as possible, and just occasionally repeating Russian state media talking points. Like, he has only walked back these positions as far as he has been forced to, due to the insane amount of backlash for his equally insane statements about Ukraine.
Believe that. I still believe that. That's true. Okay?
Yeah.
I like the part where he says, I was right about Ukraine. I bet he never repeated those words ever again.
Let me go.
They've got a lot to say about that, but I mostly like this video to show on stream, primarily because of its containing of all these clips, which are themselves buried as fuck. Because as you can imagine, Hassan has copyright striked as many of these clips off the internet as he can, but this video doesn't count as copyright like infringement, and so he can't take this one down, and so all the clips are here, and Hassan can't hide them. So thank you, Dylan.
Throw the question marks all you want. I don't give a fuck about the Ukrainian constitution. I don't give a fuck about the Ukrainian border sovereignty that some of you dumbasses are fucking talking about like you're like a 3%er about for Ukraine. Okay? It's so stupid. Crimea is not the same as Kiev, however. Crimea is not the same as the rest of Ukraine, however. Eastern Ukrainian territories have a lot of fucking Russian people living in them because Ukraine, and just like Crimea and much of the rest of the fucking country, was a part of Russia, was a part of the USSR until not that long ago, okay? People's parents were alive back then. So obviously, there's a lot of fucking Russian people living there. So if you have, but you feeling bad about the Crimean annexation does not change the reality of the Crimean annexation being a completely justifiable fucking act by the Russian government, okay? So that's it. That's fine. And Hitler invaded countries based on Germanic ties at first? Yeah, dude. Talk to me when he's fucking throwing Ukrainians in a fucking... What are you talking about? Talk to me when he's throwing Ukrainians at a concentration camp, okay? Hitler wasn't fucking bad because he decided to invade Austria. He was bad because he was fucking killing Jews, okay? That was the problem.
Really?
He wasn't like, oh yeah, we're gonna fucking annex territory with like Germanic people in it. That wasn't the main problem with Hitler, I think. That was like maybe eighth down the line.
Oh yeah.
As of now,
One quick question, and I don't want to stay on it too long, but do
It
you
goes
guys
further,
believe
though.
that it's hard for Americans to conceptualize what's going on here due to their relative security?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so.
In some part, yeah.
like I am further, I am more critical, as of now, I am more critical of the Russian actions of yesterday than the American government is, okay?
My favorite thing is how Hassan, claims this, moral superiority all the time, usually days after doing the exact opposite of the thing he's claiming, gives him that moral superiority. Dude, it's insane. Left or right, fake it till you make it. Just lie and say that you do a thing that you don't do, and people just eat it up like dog shit, apparently. I don't know if Hassan's just, because he's, a Giga Chat or whatever, people just say, yes, sir, Hassan, you're full of shit, clearly, but we'll take it at face value and not call you out. Or if it's the amount of clout he has, but, he got the clout in the first place, so it's what is about Hassan that clouds people's minds at the, blatant stupidity and the obvious hypocrisy?
Understand that. I am more critical of the actions that took place yesterday than the American government is. The American government that was agitating for war and said, banging the war drums, banging the war drums, banging the war drums, literally
Guys, see, it's actually Biden in the U.S. that made Russia invade because they were banging the war drums. Remember, as I've said, he's walked the position back only as much as he has been forced to, constantly landing on a still wrong, shitty position where he tries to divert blame away from Russia onto the U.S., onto liberals, onto Soak Dems, whatever left-leaning group or institution that's not socialist enough for him and his fans.
Fucking stop saying...
Mind you, Hassan's entire business model is based on telling young progressives that they are unrepresented in government, should completely abstain from, real politics and only be involved in, quote-unquote direct action, which for them begins and ends at donating to Hassan's stream and making a quip about a conservative pundit in their donation message, and that's about it. Do you think any of Hassan's fans are phone banking for the Harris campaign? Because I can tell you for a fact mine are. I can tell you for a fact Vosh's fans are like phone banking for Harris's campaign. For all the criticisms I have of Vosh, and a lot of them, especially when it comes to that shit, I know for a fact a good few of his fans are phone banking for Harris's campaign. Do you think that's the case for Hassan's Orbiter fan base? Do you think a lot of them are door knocking, making phone banking calls to get people to vote for Harris? Do you think many of them are even... Do you think Hassan is even telling people on his stream to register to vote? No. No, he's not. Because remember, Hassan and content creators like him, their entire business model is centered around telling you that you have no options. All progressive institutions are forced opposition, and you can only trust independent lefty content creator Hassan or whatever one of his orbit to give you true news. It's like, no, dude, this is the same method that conservatives have used for years now to get prominent, and Hassan's just repurposed it fantastically. Whew. God, I thought I had a bad temper. Yeah, Hassan does yell a lot. He gets real angry, especially when he's wrong for some reason. Like, he loves to scream, like, incorrect takes about how, like, it's so funny when he's angrily screaming about how you're a war hawk if you think Russia's going to invade Ukraine, and then days later gets proven wrong, but he still carries on with his righteous anger. God. Like I said, my reasons for disliking him are very good. And once again, for those that are always like, why you don't like Hassan, Zan? That's why. That's why. He is basically a conservative with a coat of lefty paint. It's why he's so successful and so wealthy. Anyway. Let's see. What shall we do next? What shall we do next? Yeah. Screw it. Let's do what everyone is here for. Ho 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 ho. All right, guys. Y'all know what to do when I say action, right? 3, 2, 1, action. All right, guys. I have to start this segment with a statement. I am proud of the Sonic fan base. I mean it. I could not be more proud of the Sonic fan base. Do you want to know why? Over the last week or two, that community, the franchise of Sonic, has been under a siege by the anti-woke community. If you don't know, Sonic is actually one of the biggest and most recognizable franchises there is. So the fact that the right has, up until now, not really touched Sonic, like not really tried to claim the franchise as being like anti-woke or tried to like monetize off of hate for the franchise by calling it woke, it's surprising because it's a massive, massive market with a large audience, a very dedicated one too. Like if you can get an audience of Sonic fans to be convinced that wokeness is destroying Sonic and that only watching your videos can stop it, they will watch your videos because Sonic fans are maybe the most dedicated fan base for a thing I have ever encountered in my life. I can speak on this because I've got quite a few Sonic fans in chat, and half their donations, if not more, are links to Sonic meme videos. So, a lot of Sonic fans, and they're quite dedicated. There's no denying that. And that is why, as the right, over recent days, has attempted to infiltrate the Sonic community with their anti-woke hysteria to try and grift off of these fans, I am so fucking impressed and proud that the Sonic community is not fucking having it, dude. Holy shit. They are not having it, dude. And I could not be more proud of the judgment of the Sonic fans on this. So, We actually covered a video that spectacularly failed recently from a conservative YouTuber who tried to claim that, like, the Sonic franchise is falling to wokeness. He got massively ratioed, and it was very hilarious. But now, of course, the, like, premier sad grifter, Grums, is now jumping on the bandwagon. He tweeted this. They censored Sonic X Shadow Generations. Rouge covered up even more than last time. No more hand and face to a female. Can't have that. Fat shaming removed. Health and fitness have been fixed by lowering standards. I can tell you where all this comes from. Western activists' localization departments every time. Community notes coming in to say, but Sega still sell the old version is hilarious brain rot. That, you misuse the term brain rot. Brain rot isn't when someone is dumb or makes an argument you disagree with. It's term for, like, the culture of Gen Alpha shit. Anyway, this is why you should join community notes and not leave it to the lefties. Link in reply. I love how, because Grums so frequently misreports on things, he had to end his post with a call for his fans to join community notes so that they can take down the community notes fact-checking his posts. It's become a very common trend. Like, despite having full carte blanche to post whatever they want now, the conservatives, who now own the platform of Twitter, basically, still have meltdowns over the existence of Twitter community notes because there's still a possibility that Twitter users could accidentally be exposed to the truth and not the bullshit that their engagement bait tweets are suggesting. Because remember, it's not about free speech. It's about controlling who has free speech, particularly such that you can, prevent anyone on the left from having freedom of speech. This person named Snowira says, my most beloved franchise is now a victim of censorship. It pisses me off. Western writers now believe women loving a man is seen as a bad trait. They're erasing Amy Rose's vibrant personality. They're erasing her personality by slightly changing her character design. Mind you, this is nothing new for these guys. If you don't remember, the last time they did this was when, this wasn't the last time. They've done it a lot since then, but the last time I remember was the redesign Jill Valentine. I remember they fucking lost their minds over this, dude. In the original game, Jill Valentine wears, like, just the most outfit. Like, I get that the idea is that she wasn't ready for the apocalypse to start, so she's just kind of, like, wearing a nice outfit, but she has every opportunity to change into something more practical for the situation, because no human being, much less a real woman on this planet, would elect to continue existing in a zombie outbreak wearing these clothes. Mind you, she's still hot. She's just wearing clothes that are like, oh, yeah, okay, laced up boots so you don't trip, you can run and you can stomp zombies, makes sense. Some, like, denim pants, a little more bite-proof, and their pants, yeah, pretty justifiable. Double layered tank top so you've got arm and shoulder mobility and range of motion, while also, like, not having too much clothing getting in the way, but not too little, like, not protecting you. Like, it's a pretty practical, not the most, but a more practical design. They lost their mind over this, because in the original game, whenever Jill Valentine would, like, crawl through, like, a vent or something, the camera would deliberately do an upskirt shot, right? And since they removed the skirt, there's no longer like an upskirt shot, and they lost their fucking minds. They said, go woke, go broke. Obviously, this game did not go broke. It did not fail. It's been long since memory hole that they declared war against this game, the Resident Evil remake. But yeah, whenever a new thing comes out, if a female character is redesigned to be in any way less, like, overtly sexualized, you better believe the angry, horny bastards online are going to be immediately tapped into for every single cent they're worth by these sad losers. What they are censoring and altering is the story in Sonic. Altering in the story in Sonic is undermining the traditional male-female relationship, and downstream family dynamic. Activists want to dismantle the family unit. Oh my fucking god, dude. This guy has made his entire career off of talking about how, like, character redesigns in video games are causing the fall of civilization. It's actually, like, I cannot wait for when this generation of, like, Zoomers turns 14 and realizes how cringe they were when they were, like, 10-year-olds following Grums on Twitter. It's going to be so cathartic to watch as this collective realization of, like, why were we like this in 2020 to 2024? Because that was what happened in 2016, mind you. Like, 2014 to 2017, just everybody was a chud. 2017 to 2020, all those people, for the most part, realized it was cringe and looked back at those times as cringed. And it was so cathartic for lefties, I imagine, to finally have those people admit the anti-SJW shit was cringe. The same thing is going to happen again with the Andrew Tate stuff, the anti-woke game stuff. People are going to look back on it when they turn, 16, 15 years old, look back at, like, their 12, 13, 14-year-old selves obsessing over woke video games, and they're going to cringe at it. And it's going to be part of this cultural shift I've been talking about for a while, where it really does seem like the anti-woke sphere is just kind of destroying itself. Now, funnily enough, we've got a video here that I only know of because people on Twitter were making fun of it, but a small up-and-coming, I guess you could say up-and-coming, but, I mean, this is his most viewed video that he's ever gotten, and it's not particularly well-received based on the like count, called Phoenix Perception. Uploaded a video called Sonic X Shadow Generation Censored Sexy Women. Rouge is ruined. So we're very clearly dealing with a furry here. There is something, like, inherently hilarious about the idea of conservatives coming out to complain about a furry female character being less sexualized in a kid's game. But I guess we aren't allowed to acknowledge the blatantness of that entire situation, and we have to pretend like everything about this is a serious discussion. So let's continue. Let's have this very serious discussion.
Well, it looks like we have yet another Japanese company trying to censor their games. I don't know why the Japanese do this. I thought it was only Americans and Westerners that were super gay and annoying, but it seems like even the Japanese want to follow what the game developers over here are doing, and game developers over here hate attractive women. They hate beautiful women. They want to promote androgyny and evil transgenderism and degeneracy in their ideology. We've seen...
Guys... God, I had to pop my jaw there. Guys, we found one in the wild. We found one in the fucking wild. We got a real, through and through, dyed-in-the-wool chud here, bro. Holy crap. Oh my god, dude. We've got a chud. We found a wild chud in the wilderness here, dude. Holy crap. Zan, can we keep him? Oh, man. Listen, I forget what his name is, but dude who made this video, if you find out you're gonna find out I covered your video, because, like, the size disparity is going to have some results, inevitably. So, please, come onto my stream. I would love to talk to you about the woke game industry. I would absolutely love to have a debate or a conversation with you. Please, please, join my Discord server. Ask one of my mods. They'll get into contact with me. They'll let me know. And you can come on stream, and we can have that conversation. I am so down. I am so fucking down.
Some Japanese companies go down this route, like Capcom and Square Enix, and now it looks like Sega has done the same exact thing. I don't know why.
So this is also a big part of why I think the anti-woke grift is kind of losing. Because while yes, they can always complain about a new thing being woke, and they can monetize anger and hate, one of the things that keeps them going is giving their audiences the perception that they're getting the occasional win. That's why when something comes out and succeeds, they immediately try to tout it as, like, anti-woke, even if they originally shit on it and called it woke when they thought it was going to fail. A good example being the Mario movie, right? Where they attacked the Mario movie endlessly. They claimed because in one scene in the trailer, Princess Peach wears pants, because she's wearing, like, a jumpsuit design that comes from the games for racing. They claimed they were eliminating Princess Peach's female identity because, just like this guy is saying, modern Hollywood hates attractive women, yada, yada, yada. It's just the same talking points, right? And of course, they claimed it was going to go woke, go broke, it was going to fail. They monetize off of hate for it as much as possible. And then the second it comes out and ends up breaking the box office, everything 180s, and they start claiming it was an anti-woke masterpiece. Now, the reason they do this is because there has to be this perception, the core tenet of fascism is the enemy is both strong and weak. So while the enemy is strong enough that it's corrupting all of media and destroying everything that you love in gaming and movies and TV and Hollywood and everything, it's also failing. It's also consistently losing money. The studios are consistently shutting down. They're going broke. They're nonstop running out of money, but they're also nonstop growing and consuming more of Hollywood and the gaming industry. These ideas, when you think about it for more than a second, make no sense to simultaneously be true, but they push these ideas because, well, fascist ideology and ideologies adjacent to fascism don't make sense. That's kind of part of the whole thing. But on top of that, it can't just all be dooming. It can't just all be negativity about, monetizing off of rage clicks. When something comes out that everybody is liking, people want to engage in, the discussion about something they enjoy. And so when you take that desire to discuss something that everyone enjoys and you turn it into, hey, oh, did you like Top Gun Maverick? Well, hey, this is an anti-woke movie. If you join our side, we're going to get more movies like this. It's to push the idea that as long as you keep supporting their side, we'll get more of these good movies that are anti-woke. But if you don't, then the woke will continue to spread and will continue to make awful and broke all the media that you enjoy. It's also they can have their cake and eat it too.
All of a sudden, this is just very annoying. They think that this is what we want, but no, it's just these lesbian localizers and these translators speaking for us. And I am talking about the upcoming Shadow and Sonic generation. And it seems like Rouge the Bat has been censored. I have a tweet right here. It says, Shadow Generation spoilers. Hey, I don't mean to be that person, but can Sega stop doing...
No fucking way. Let me make my chat go away so you can see what they're complaining about right now. I need you guys to know what they're complaining about. Hold on. This is the original design, and this is the new one. Holy fucking shit. They're complaining. I can count the fucking polygons in the original design. That is fucking crazy that this is what they're mad about. Oh my god. Oh, man. This dude sounds like a high schooler that would be bullied. Yeah, no, I could hunt this dude in, a natural setting and eat him. But, that aside, this is the internet. We gotta win a battle of wits, I suppose.
This. I didn't think they censor Rouge farther, but they have even covered up her back now. It looks bad. It's impossible to put on her wings and nobody likes it. Stop being cowards. And as you can clearly see, this is the image on the left. Pretty normal. Seems like an actual female ass. And that was in the original game. But then when you look at the remaster on the side, look at what we...
Guys, I don't know what I'm supposed to say because all I can do is sit here and just watch the video. Do I need to say anything? I've never done a segment where it's hard for me to do commentary because it's just they're doing such a bad job at representing their beliefs and they're just letting the mask slip the whole time. It's yeah, here is what a conservative chud YouTuber that doesn't know how to obfuscate their beliefs talks. This is what they believe.
We got. Is that even an ass anymore? It looks weird and crumbled up and cracked and broken and just lumpy and chunky. What the fuck is wrong with these people? Why do they go out of their way to do this shit when nobody asks them to do it? Who are you trying to appeal to? You're not trying to appeal to normal people. This seems such an unnecessary change.
You're not trying to appeal to normal people. Meanwhile, hold on. Does he think it is normal to want to fuck Rouge the Bat? Is he implying that it is abnormal to see this design and think, well, who cares? I don't, who wants to fuck the bat? Is that abnormal to him? He thinks everybody is a furry? Probably. Probably, let's be real.
How much are we going to even see of this character's backside? That sounds a bit silly to say, but it's so small, so why change it? Because you're appealing to...
Why change it? Wait, does he realize that this is a remake of a game? Like, they changed things to give them more polygons. Like, I don't even see the difference they're talking about other than the new design has more polygons. So, like, that's why. And also, if you only see her backside for, like, a second, why do you care? Like, you guys complain about shit and say, oh, it's so irrelevant, why'd they change it? If it's so irrelevant and thus unimportant to have been changed, why do you care that it's been changed? Your fundamental argument is that no one should care and that it doesn't matter. Why are you acting like it matters so much?
To stupid ass bitches who do not even play games that want women in the video games to be ugly because they are fat, disgusting.
Those stupid fat bitches want ugly women in games so it makes them feel better.
This is, who remembers before this era? Because, like, the incel talking points of gamers have changed, like, a bit over time. I remember back in 2017, the popular talking point at the time was this idea that all the hot girls that rejected you in your life are now infiltrating gaming, and they're girlifying it. I'm not joking. Like, who remembers that famous Trainwrecks rant where he's like, the girls that rejected you, the girls that called you a nerd, they're on Twitch showing their titties, and they're doing booby streams, and they're making money off of you. Jerk off before donating. And he starts screaming all that shit. Like, this was the mindset of, like, the gamer incel back then, that, like, Stacy is now playing video games and the gaming industry is trying to appeal to Stacy. But now, because for incels, instead of it being a movement centered around public open self-pity and self-degradation, it started to pivot more towards this Andrew Tate style, like, faking it till you make it, pretending to be like an alpha sigma male and putting down women all the time. And so they've gone from insulting the direction of the gaming industry under the basis that, like, Stacy's are now infiltrating it and, like, ruining gaming after bullying you for liking games when you were younger, to now it's like usually they say something along the lines of, like, land whale, blue hair, feminists infiltrating gaming or whatever. So it's gone from being the Stacy's who rejected you, destroying gaming, to being these, like, this caricature of woke women that are ruining gaming. Because the boogeyman changes over time, right? Like, if you'll remember, like, right now we're back in an era of, like, feminists being the boogeyman, but there was a good amount of time before, like, even the original era of the feminist boogeyman, where it was, like, the first bout of it, because the anti-SJW community kind of sprouted out of the atheist community, was Islamophobia. Like, anti-Islam content, talking about how, like, Christianity is superior to Islam, and like, we need to have like Trump's right about doing, like, a Muslim ban because Islam is evil and regressive, and basically arguing from, like, a progressive perspective why we should, like, ban Muslims and stuff. That was kind of the start of the Chud wave online of, like, 2016, the 2014 Gamergate era, and then it pivoted to feminism because of the Zoe post, whatever, and, you know, feminists were the like, boogeyman, and then trans people became the boogeyman, and now we're back to, it seems, or then for a while it was black people were the boogeyman, because DEI, whatever, and now we're back in, it seems like we're pivoting back into women being the boogeyman again. Like, feminist women being, like, the thing that conservatives are fear-mongering over, destroying society. It's like the same handful of demographics they, like, cycle through, convincing their followers are going to, like, destroy the world.
And obese, and no man wants them. That's why you want to do stuff like this. That's why they want to do stuff like this, because you're listening to them instead of listening to your actual fan base. And Westerners that actually play games are not asking for women to be censored. That makes no sense. It's fucking stupid. It's retarded. It looks weird. You made this character look weirder now. It doesn't even look normal. The autonomy doesn't look normal. It looks weird and clunky.
The autonomy doesn't look normal, guys. I need you to look at... He is saying that this character's anatomy looks less normal than this character's anatomy. Mind you, I can count the polygons, and, like, look at her hips, dude. Like, what the fuck happened here? Why is she built like a Mewtwo? I guess that's what they're mad about, is she's not, from this angle, supposedly not built like a fucking Mewtwo anymore. Like, what is their... Is this just, like, right-wing furries melting down? I don't even know, dude.
And chunky is stupid looking. And this isn't even the first time they've done this with this character. Someone also showed that they did this in the old Sonic X cartoon from back in the day. You can see the Japanese version on the left. Clearly she has cleavage. Clearly. Normal, right? And then you see the English version on the right, covered up. They either shrunk it or moved the heart down. I don't know exactly, but you can clearly see that it has been censored. And don't give me no bullshit excuse about, oh, it's kids game, it's E for everybody. No, it's for everybody. Every fucking body can play a Sonic game.
Oh my god! No, it's not a game for kids because it's rated E, which literally means everybody. The ESRB exists for rating games. Obviously, E-rated games can be played by adults, but they're rated E to signify to parents they're safe games for your kids to play. Like, he's upset about, like, the goonerification of characters in kids games, and you can cope, but the Sonic games are kids games. Like, Minecraft is arguably like a kids game. Tons of adults play it. It's very nostalgic for an entire generation of adults, especially in the case of Sonic, like Mario and stuff, but it was definitely made for a market of kids. Although Sonic or Minecraft might not apply because Notch originally made it for, like, forums and stuff that were full of, like, 4chaners and whatnot, but, like, you know what I mean. You get what I mean. Like, there are tons of popular things that are played, that are made for a younger audience and are made specifically to be appropriate for a younger audience that still have an adult appeal. That doesn't mean it's, like, the fact that it has an adult appeal means it should go full gooner to appeal, to please the gooners in the adult audience of that media. Like, what the fuck? Mind you, these are the same people who complain about, like, the gay people grooming kids, actively complaining about kids' characters not being sexualized enough. Because, once again, these people would never in a million years complain about, like, a dad taking their 10-year-old son to a strip club, right? Because they're looking at adult women. Like, even if it's a kid, they wouldn't ever see that as a problem. That's appropriate to them. If anything, they go, heh, man, what a lucky kid, right? They do the same thing whenever, like, an adult woman rapes an underage boy. They say, ah, lucky kid, right? But, like, if it's ever a situation where, hell, even if you flip the roles, all of a sudden they're freaking out over it, right?
Anybody can watch Sonic. It's not specifically for kids. Even content for kids doesn't necessarily need to be censored. That doesn't mean it should be inappropriate, but it doesn't need to be censored. In terms of this cartoon, why was it okay for Japanese kids but not?
You shouldn't censor kids' material. Hey, how do you feel about the censorship of, like, books and movies and shows and stuff in red states in America where they are banning, like, anything that mentions being gay? Like, why are you okay with that getting censored? Because you just said kids' media shouldn't be censored. Why are you okay with, as I know he's okay with it, why are you okay with states banning things that mention gayness in, like, school libraries? If it's, like, they're for kids, why should it be censored? Why should it be shut down or hidden or banned? Once again, these people have no consistency. It's all about, like, the only consistency being minorities bad. They call him Phoenix Perception the way he perceives problems that don't exist, is the top comment. Bro definitely did not cook in his video. Actual geek, bro. This has to be a joke, right? Is this satire or for real? It's a cartoon bat from a kid's game. What the fuck are you talking about? She looks good anyway. By the way, buddy, the image from the right is from Sonic Adventure 2. In the OG gens, she looks the same, even worse. Wait, his image of her that he used as a comparison isn't even from the same Sonic game. That is actually hilarious. Once again, proud of the Sonic fans, spotting bullshit a mile away. Can't get shit past these people. Please tell me this is a joke, a dumb satire, because if it isn't, you're sad. Yo, I feel you, but it's a kid's game. Crying emoji. Bro, what's with all these anti-woke people attacking Sonic all of a sudden? These people should have realized that Sonic is a kid's franchise. Put the fries in the bag, lil bro. That's the one I'm leaving it on. Put the fries in the bag, little bro, is literally the peak comment. I'm liking that comment right now. That's insane. That's fucking crazy, dude. Holy shit. You think he'll do the same thing the other anti-woke grifter that tried to do an infiltration of Sonic? Do you think he'll do the same thing where he'll respond to the ratio by saying,
well, thanks for all the views and ad revenue. That's all I wanted in the first place.
And just admit he's a grifter as a way of, like, coping over, like, the ratio? That's literally what the last guy who did this did, by the way. He got massively ratioed and then uploaded a community post where he says, haha, I didn't even care about this. I just wanted the ad revenue and views. Joke's on you. As copium. Just admitting it's a grift. Like, okay, dude, sure. All right. If that's your way of, like, not being owned is to admit you're just grifting and don't care about anything like I've been saying all this time, then go on ahead. I will not stop you. Anyway. If you enjoyed this segment, please consider dropping a like. It really, really does help a lot. If you found it entertaining, enjoyable, or even educational, every thumbs up that you leave on my videos, VODs, or segments gets pushed into the algorithm, out to more people, and it makes my channel grow faster, so I really do appreciate it. It really does help a ton. You can also comment down below to boost the effect of the like, and subscribe and ring the bell icon to turn on all notifications so that YouTube tells you when I go live or upload a new video, because trust me, they won't do so otherwise. And you can follow my social medias, linked down below in the description as well, to see stuff from me on other platforms too, including a link down below to my fan Discord, which is the main hub of my community and fan base, by the way, totally free to join, and I host weekly gaming events, call-in streams, and watch parties there, or at least one of the three. And I announce all my new uploads and streams there as well. So if YouTube isn't working, at least you know my Discord will work. Finally, though, if you want to support me directly, financially, help me keep the lights on and a roof above my head here at the Xander Hall studio, then please consider donating, subscribing, or gifting a sub on my website, xanderhall.com/live. But no matter how you support me, even if you're just a lurker in chat watching and not saying anything, thank you so much for being here, and I hope to see you again. How do you guys like that segment? I feel like it came out pretty good. Oh my gosh. And for some reason, my parchment of topics is like as far away as can possibly be. Dude, I am cooking right now inside this thing. It's cold here, and I'm still cooking. Because it has to be like cold for me not to overheat in this onesie. These things are thick, and they are warm, dude. You know how we invented the word clanker for robots? We need a new word like that, but for furry gooners. We just use the term furries. Good one, Ride the Rails. Alright, guys. Really fast, I need to use the restroom. And also, probably to get myself, like, a colder water bottle so I don't die of heat stroke in this thing. So, don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. I've still got another topic for us to cover today, and it's a pretty juicy one, too, so stick around. I'm excited for you guys to see it. I'm excited for us to have a good time with it, so don't go anywhere. I'll be right back, and stay tuned. BRB. Well, well, well. Has there been generosity while I was gone? Slashy. My god, thank you for the tier 1 gifted sub to DJ Reaper Skier. Thank you. Hot damn. Dropping some support in chat. You've been goated today, Slashy. Thank you. Said, he is trying to grift off this topic. He made 2 videos about Sonic X Shadow Generations today. Ah, I see. He's still pushing the grift. That's really funny. Here, how about this, guys? How's this look, guys? Oh, my chat's covering it up, but hey, your points are really dumb. You should debate me. How's that look, chat? This is his most recent video about the topic. Hell yeah. Alright, let's see if we can secure that debate. If we can secure that debate, we'll be cooking. My ex who cheated on me hates you, Xanderhall, and they used me for gifts. Not surprised they're a shitty person. Dude, wait a second. Bro, that could be like a massive, like, red flag generator. My fans could show videos of me to their, like, potential partners or, like, current partners, and if they don't like me, that's got to be, like, a almost 100% accurate, like, red flag generator. Like, if they like me, green flag. If they don't, I mean, you guys know the record of people not liking me in the realm of content creation. If you know your partner hates me, just consider the history. That's all I'm saying, all right? That's a useful tool. I don't know why, but I've got this thing about me that makes shitty people just, like, unable to keep their hatred for me unexpressed. Like, they have to let it out. What about neutral? I specifically said hatred. Like, specific dislike and hatred. Like, it's... Man, that's actually a really good, like, red flag thing. Wow. Damn. I have, like, a superpower. The only thing I hate about you is the fact that you won't rail me 40 times in 1 week. Well, thank you, TSW, the Shadow Wolf. I appreciate the sentiment. Restraining order. Getting a 500 error when I try to fix my username. Gun invalid. What do you want your username to be? I don't know why, but that's also been an issue where people haven't been able to reset their names, so I've been doing it manually for them. Zan, I didn't mention before, but beautiful onesie. All hail the sea dogs. All hail the sharks. True. Thank you for my, thank you for complimenting my nice little onesie. I gotta pull it up some more so you can see the fin. Anyway. Oh, chat. I'm curious. What is everybody drinking right now? Right now, I finished my Monster, so now all I've got is my water bottle. But, it's a nice cold one I got, so what are you guys drinking? Water, fizzy water. Diet, fuck. Water. Coke. Water with lemon flavoring, oxygen and toothpaste, White Monster, Pepsi, Republican Tears, and iced tea. Ice Mountain Water, Paint Water, Gatorade. Had some soda earlier called Solo. Interesting. About to have some hot cocoa. Water with zero sugar fruit punch flavor enhancer. White Claw. The blood of my enemies. Milkaholic. Water. Gatorade. Water. Pee. Bovine sebaceous oils. Hell yeah. Consume those oils. 0-calorie sweet tea. Nice. All right, everybody. All right, guys. Y'all know what to do when I say action, right? 3, 2, 1, action. All right, guys. If Trump loses, and I do think he'll probably lose the election in November, do you want to know what my first thing to say? The thing I want to say directed at Trump, first thing, once it's found out he cannot become president? Put the fries in the bag, sir. Put the fries in the bag, sir. I would love to see Trump lose all of his money, lose the presidency, and be forced to work at McDonald's. That would be absolutely hysterical and an ideal scenario. And I would absolutely go to that McDonald's he works at and make him prepare me fries every single day. And I would eat every last one as well, without hesitation or a doubt. Now, this is not an AI-generated image. This is real. This is Trump actually in a McDonald's in an apron serving up some fries. But there is also a side order of lies in this story because despite the framing, the situation isn't quite as Trump just getting down with the working class as you might think. This was through and through a campaign stunt, and, well, let me bring up this video that explains it pretty well, because, God, Trump is really just completely shameless at this point. He really has no lines he's unwilling to cross anymore. From crypto scamming to, well, just watch. This almost makes me wonder if Trump did fake one or two of the assassination attempts on him, because, good lord, he really does have no shame. He totally would.
I want to bring in NBC's Yamiche Alcindor, who is in Chester County, Pennsylvania, where the vice president was earlier today. Matthew Dowd was chief strategist for the Bush-Cheney campaign in 2004 and is an MSNBC senior political analyst. Megan Hayes is former special assistant to President Biden and director of message planning. She was deputy communications director for President Biden's 2020 campaign. Great to have all of you here. So look, Matthew, you've got all this money, all this information you've collected on all of these voters. How do campaigns combine all of that and put them to work in these final days?
Well, they have to decide first. They have that strategic decision that identifying a swing voter or an undecided voter.
Wait, do they? Side order of lies. Dowd reacts to Trump working at McDonald's. Does that news hit, like, as they're talking or something? I guess it hits as they're talking.
With her is not the campaign. White House officials tell NBC.
Now, to be fair, I'll give Trump one. I'll give Trump one thing. I'll give him 1 point. Trump is a loyal McDonald's customer. Trump is a McDonald's cell who has, like, multiple times filled the table at the Oval Office with his administration with Big Macs and McDonald's fries. And McDonald's is solid fast food. Don't get me wrong. It's overpriced, but it tastes good enough. It's scientifically designed by one of the most wealthy and well-funded and well-resourced companies in the world to be literally addictively good food using grease and salt. But that aside, let me tell you something. Do you know who our most based president ever was when it came to, like, fast food takes? Let me tell you who knew what the fuck was up. Obama. You know where he is. Obama knew what the fuck was up. Obama loved Five Guys. He knew what the fuck was up, dude. You can tell a lot about a man based on his taste in fast food. Obama knew what was up. Because, yeah, Five Guys is literally the top when it comes to fast food. I will hear no other arguments. You are literally, like, you're not a person if you have a different opinion than this. But Five Guys is so good. The only debate that can seriously be had is whether or not it's too good to qualify as fast food. Like, that is an argument I'll entertain. That maybe it doesn't even get to be on the list because it's so good, it might break out of fast food territory and just full-on dining territory. Like, bro, Obama knew what was up. Trump, on the other hand, is a genuine through-and-through McDonald's fan. I just thought I'd add this in here. You know, it's somewhat relevant. I just want you all to know Obama had a good palate when it came to fast food.
There are no plans to campaign with him in these final 15 days. Do you think that's smart, especially considering Biden's close ties in a state like Pennsylvania?
I think it's a strategic decision to get your surrogates to spread out and to fan out across all the battleground states. You know, the president's traveling to New Hampshire tomorrow to talk about prescription drugs, the lowering of prescription drug costs, and then he's traveling to Arizona. So I think he is hitting strategic media markets, and
But are you suggesting that this is not a strategic decision for her not to stand with him?
I don't necessarily think so. You haven't seen her stand with Obama either in the last couple of weeks, and I don't think that they're planning on campaigning together or with Michelle Obama. You know, this is an opportunity to hit a lot of media markets. She is very fortunate, unlike President Trump, to have a lot of people who are backing her and a lot of surrogates out on the trail for her. And I think that that's an important thing to get to cover media markets and to be out there as everyone.
We're not here for Kamala's campaign. We're here for Trump's campaign stunt. Is this it? Is this where they talk about it?
Claims that she never worked at McDonald's. He trolling Kamala Harris with the
right now is what's important. So I don't necessarily think they need to be standing by.
MSNBC, I've actually noticed over time, has progressively gotten like lower and lower quality. A big turn was when they started pivoting to appeal more to a conservative audience, which was very noticeable. I mean, you can notice it even here with how low-key aggressive towards Kamala Harris they're being. But on top of that, their like video uploads have become misleading. Like I'll look up a story that's relevant to a specific topic, right? And then MSNBC will have a video clip that's about the topic. I'll be like, oh, cool. And I click it and it doesn't end up being about the topic until like 2 or 3/3 of the way into the video. It's like, okay, so the last third of it is actually about the topic it's advertised as being about. Okay, MSNBC. Is that the level we're on now? Like literal false clickbait on YouTube? Though the conservatives will still call this outlet MSDNC or MSNPC. Yeah. Obviously, they're trying to appeal to conservatives is never going to be rewarded, right? Unless they bow down and swear fealty to Trump. That's all they'll accept.
I just don't think that that's a necessity at this point.
And Matthew, I have to ask you about Donald Trump trolling Kamala Harris with these baseless claims that she never worked at McDonald's. He put on an apron. He salted the fries and, pardon the pun, peppered in the insults. Take a listen.
It was a big part of her resume that she worked at McDonald's, how tough a job it was. She specifically worked at the French fry where they make the French fries, and she talked about the heat. It was so tough. She never worked at McDonald's. McDonald's just confirmed that again, by the way. She never worked at McDonald's.
This isn't true, by the way. She did work at McDonald's, and McDonald's has not confirmed she didn't work there.
In other words, she's lying, Kamala.
A Harris spokesperson responded by saying, when Trump feels desperate, all he knows how to do is lie. He can't understand what it's like to have a summer job because he was handed millions on a silver platter only to blow it. On the other hand...
Yeah, this entire stunt was designed to make Trump look appealing to the working class because, once again, he is, born into millions, right? He was born into wealth. He's never experienced what it's like to worry about making ends meet in his entire life. So that is a pretty relevant attack point for Kamala. So in response to that, this seems to have been an older clip because we found out today that the Trump McDonald's fry salting was staged. They shut down the whole McDonald's. And we only found this out because people local to that McDonald's went there and took photos and video. They shut down the McDonald's a week beforehand, putting a sign up warning local residents the McDonald's will be closed on that day and not to go there. They bust in Trump supporters to go through and order the things they wanted and to be super hyped and excited about Trump being there. They specifically are paying the McDonald's employees to stand there and smile while Trump does that. And it was literally just a fully staged photo op where a McDonald's franchise owner in Pennsylvania was paid off to stage him working at McDonald's. Jesus Christ. Actually ridiculous. That is the level of shamelessness he's on. And meanwhile, I don't know if you guys know about this, because I don't know how many of you guys were here for that segment before, and obviously if this goes out as a video, I don't know which video will come out first, or if everyone who's seen this has seen the other one I did. But Trump is currently under fire because he is associated with and endorsing a crypto scam. Not even a rug pull crypto scam, even more shameless. He's attempting fraud, and it's... CoffeeZilla made a really good video on it. We did some coverage of that. Very good stuff. But, my point is that Trump has gotten so shameless with these stunts now. Do you think that even he knows that he can't win this election? Because who would know better, what the chances of their victory or loss are than Trump and Kamala themselves? Kamala seems optimistic, genuinely internally optimistic. Internal polling and internal data that she has access to is suggesting that she is projected to win. And Trump is acting like he is going to lose if he does not get his shit together before Election Day. Pulling out all the stops, no matter how shameless and blatantly fucked they are. Because we're so close to the election, he just hopes the consequences don't catch up to him in a month, right? Man, we're so close to Election Day. It's not even a month. It's well under a month. It's weeks now. Yeah, all Trump can do is try to steal the election, take as much money as he can through scamming, and trick as many people through, dishonesty, lies, and, skeevy staged events as possible. While Trump is never banking on winning, he runs for president like he plays golf. He goes in with a plan to cheat. That's true. That is true. I don't think Trump ever really intended to win fair and square, but I also think Trump's ego internally can't accept that he's a loser, right? Trump's ego cannot internally allow him to accept that he lost the election. I think Trump, in a self-deluding kind of way, believes that the election was stolen. He's such a narcissist and has such an ego. There's no way that his internal monologue is him saying, "Oh, I know I lost the election. I need to lie about it." Even if he's wrong and is lying, I don't actually believe he's knowingly lying. I think he's enough of a narcissist that he's tricked himself into thinking long ago that the only scenario where he loses the election is if it's stolen. I think that's realistically how he thinks. I'm sure he thinks he won all those golf games where he changes the numbers on his scorecard. Exactly, Winters, in that same exact way, where yes, he's cheating, but at the same time, he thinks he has to cheat because that's the only way to get a fair win, right? It's not right. It's just his little demented worldview, his line of logic that's just self-serving. He's a special boy that is allowed to break the rules because all of his circumstances are special because he's the main character and no one is like him. Actually, he knows full well he lost. Pence confirmed it. No, you guys get what I'm not even going to elaborate further. I think if you get what I mean, then you understand what I mean. But if you don't, then you'll understand when you're older, I guess. Xanderhall, the McDonald's being shut down shows that Trump could never actually handle working at a McDonald's. I know for a fact that I could make fries faster than he could, and even I'm not one of the fastest fry makers at the McDonald's I work at. You know what's so funny about it as well? Is that Trump in real time had to stop himself from talking down fry cooks. Where he said she complains about the heat and how hard it was. You can tell from the way he's saying it, he is about to argue, it's not that hard. Look, I just did it and it's easy. He almost said that as his go-to line of attack on Kamala, but then realized, wait. we're supposed to make it seem like I'm getting the working class experience. I can't talk down to my voters. And he stops himself. But you noticed it too, right? In that video? Anyway. Hopefully, Trump will actually have to work at McDonald's in the coming months after he loses the election. Let's fucking hope. And let's make it happen. Make sure you're registered to vote. Make sure you vote. And vote blue no matter who. Down ballot, guys. I'm serious about this shit. I'm serious. Anyway, guys, if you enjoyed this segment, found it enjoyable, entertaining, or even educational, then please consider dropping a like. Every single thumbs up forces YouTube to push my content in the algorithm out to a wider and larger audience, and specifically and largely helps my content to grow quite fast, so I really do appreciate it. You can also follow my social medias linked down below in the description to see more stuff from me on other platforms, and if you want to join my fan Discord, which is the main hub of my community and fan base, and it's totally free to join, link in the description. I host weekly game events, call-in streams, or watch parties there, and on top of that, I announce all my new uploads and streams there, so even if YouTube bugs out, at least you know that my Discord will not. And finally, if you want to support me directly, help me keep the lights on, the roof above my head here at the Xander Hall studio, then consider donating, subscribing, or gifting a sub on my website, xanderhall.com/live, or supporting me through YouTube, Twitch, Streamlabs, Stream Elements, Patreon, or buying merch, the Streamlabs link down below. But regardless of how you support me, even if you're just lurking around and watching the stream without saying anything, thank you so much. I hope to see you again, and have a good one. How do you guys like that segment? It was a short one, but I feel like it came out pretty good. I had to talk about the Trump McDonald's thing. Hell yeah, Chanman 2019. You're voting early tomorrow. That's what I like to hear. I wish where I live had any vote blue candidates, but nope, lol. The only thing we had is a fund for renewable energy. At Xander Hall, should we ban religion? No. No, probably not. Xander Hall, have you tried Shake Shack? Might be the GOAT of fast food. Dude, Shake Shack's solid, but you can't come in here and tell me Shake Shack holds a light anywhere close to Five Guys. I wish where I live had Five Guys. Dude, Snake Lover, where do you live that you don't have Five Guys? What the fuck? Go on Google Maps and find the closest one to you if it's like a city away, because it's worth getting it at least once just to know. Me too, Hobbs. Cool. Me too. I can't eat Five Guys. I'm in a small-ass city. Well, like, you could sometime take a trip to just try it. It's really worth it. Haven't tried enough to say I like or dislike it. Oh my god, my chatters are insane sometimes with the food takes. Good lord. There's a Five Guys in the mall where I live. Delicious ass food. It's so good, dude. It's so good. I'm in the middle of nowhere in Mississippi and I have a Five Guys. Yeah, you've got one close to you no matter where you live in America. They're everywhere. It's 10 miles to the nearest anything around here. You're American. 10 miles is nothing. Do you own a car? If you don't own a car, I understand. But if you do, then it's like, bro. Zan, have you checked in on the YouTube chat dungeon lately? Yeah, I've been reading YouTube chat from time to time. Five Guys is mid as shit. NASDAQ, you're baiting for a ban right now. Like, legitimately. Because you're just... That's like... It's like saying we should stomp puppies to death on sight. Like, why would you say that in my chat? Like, are you trying to get banned? Zan, you probably won't read this. Lol. But if you have a peanut allergy, it's dangerous to even walk past a Five Guys. That is true. Do not go anywhere near Five Guys if you have a peanut allergy. They fry their stuff in peanut oil, and there's a lot of peanuts on the premises. So, like, the air will literally cause anaphylaxis if you have a peanut allergy. Do not go near a Five Guys if you are allergic to nuts. There's a Five Guys in London? That's crazy. Have you tried the Krabby collab at Wendy's? No, I haven't. Is Wendy's selling Krabby Patties? If that's a thing, then I'm copping one ASAP, bro. Ain't no way I'm not immediately... Yes, they are. You're telling me Wendy's is selling officially licensed Krabby Patties. I tried the Krabby Patty and it's mid. I don't care. I'm still going to try it. All right, man. Okay. After stream. I don't order food these days because delivery food apps overcharge and it's a scam. But I'm getting me the fucking Krabby Patty from Wendy's. I might do it after stream. That's fucking crazy. I have to know. I have to know what it tastes like. I have to know what the canon taste of the Krabby Patty is. Apparently the Krabby Patty meal is absolute garbage. I have to know. I have to know. I have to know if it's how bad it is. I think Penguin Zero already did it. Oh man, I guess because someone else has already tasted it, I don't need to know what it tastes like. No, that's not how it works. I want to know what it tastes like. I must experience it. My own taste buds, my own brain must be able to record the memory of what that flavor was like. And a pineapple frosty. I'm probably not going to get the pineapple frosty. I'm probably just going to get fries on the side. I'll probably get 2 Krabby Patties and a thing of fries. Or 1 Krabby Patty and 2 fries. The kelp fries. As Squidward would say. Svidvard. What is this? Holy shit. YouTube is currently killing thousands of channels and they're staying silent. As of October 16th, the day after YouTube made updates to the platform, many people have seen a 90% RPM drop due to significantly reduced ad serving. Because of that, our guess is that a sneaky bug was introduced with a 3-minute short update that affected some channels. We have gathered a Discord group with 100 affected creators already, all long-form content that are barely getting revenued anymore despite being monetized and having no warnings or anything. This all started on the exact same day for all of us, while one day prior, all our videos were still getting ads as normal. Their YouTube Twitter is full with complaints from people, yet they won't acknowledge the issue and insist everything is in order. It is critical to acknowledge that some bigger creators here are losing out thousands of dollars per day. YouTube partner support gives us AI-generated and pre-created answers. YouTube online chat ends our sessions after raising the issue. They are at this point actively denying the issue despite having sufficient reports. We have sent them hundreds of graphs displaying the issue, but all we get is the same response that everything is working as intended. Yeah, everything is working as intended. Exactly. They're not lying about that. This needs massive media coverage. Help us. Nope. It's all about YouTube, like, just killing the smaller channels that are making too much fuss for the amount of views they're getting. YouTube wants to make more money off of less content. It is YouTube's prerogative to start culling small channels and moderate-sized channels. Man, it's scary, dude. I'm probably next. This is criminal. This is the moment the update hit. A bunch of content creators have all put out their graphs of analytics, apparently, to show their charts just plummeting the second the update dropped. That's fucking insane, dude. This is why I beg you guys to like every video and everything, because YouTube, the second they see a lack of engagement and enthusiasm from your audience, you better believe they will just snap their fingers and delete your YouTube career in an instant. Like, legitimately. Like, you could just, like, tune out of a content creator you like for a month and then, like, check in on them. And it's like, oh, they don't do YouTube anymore. Because like after a month, it happened. I've seen that's happened with creators that I like, where it's like I just stop watching them for like a month, and I'm like, oh, I should watch this creator I like, and then I tune in, and it's like, oh, 2 weeks ago they quit YouTube because their channel started pulling a third of the viewership. It's happened many times. Xander, I'll speak out about this because when they come for you, no one will be there to speak out for you. Well, to be fair, it won't change anything, CoinDog, but I probably will do a segment about it. That does seem like a pretty good idea. I'll add it to the list for the next stream. YouTube killing channels. All right. Alrighty, everybody. I think here is where I'm going to wrap up the stream for today. For those that do not know, tomorrow is my day off, so no stream tomorrow. However, the day after that, I will be streaming. Same goes for the day after that as well. So, yeah, no stream tomorrow, but I will be streaming the next 2 days after tomorrow, so that's the schedule for those that are wondering. Oh god, I have to burp so bad, but it won't. I can't just like burp for some reason. So I'm like on the edge of having to burp, and I can't like get out a full sentence without having to like take a breath. It's weird. Anyway, there we go. Anyway, as I was saying, the stream will be the day after tomorrow. Will you be streaming election night? Of course I'll be streaming election night, yeah. But as I said, no stream tomorrow, stream the day after tomorrow. There will be a watch party on Friday indeed. What I'll probably end up doing is streaming 3 days in a row. Like, I'll probably end up streaming Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Just a much smaller stream on Friday with just a couple segments, then leading into the watch party. And then taking Saturday off. So I'll probably do an island of 3 streams in a row the day after tomorrow, starting the day after tomorrow. So yeah. I hope you guys are hyped. I cannot wait to see you guys there. It's going to be a fun, good old time. And with all that said, I love you all very much. Thank you for coming. Keep yourselves safe, and I hope to see you again next time. Doo-doo fart.